Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here,
And BlueDragonFive.
and we are here with yet another series recap on the So You Want to Be an Imagineer special. It has finally come, the show that me and BlueDragonFive have been speculating and anticipating for a whole year, along with a lot of other comic book fans and just fans of good TV in general. We are talking about the new Fox series, Gotham. So join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace.
And explore Gotham.
Yes, yes. All right. So yeah, BlueDragonFive. This is a pretty monumental event for us because back in the day, if I remember correctly, our speculation video about Gotham, that might have been perhaps one of the first, I want to say, 5 podcasts we ever recorded. Am I right in that ballpark?
Yeah, I'll give you that. It was an early one.
Yeah, it was like right in the beginning, and so it's like finally it's here. We speculated a ton about it, and now we have the results. So you know what I should have done? I should have gone back and watched that show. Maybe I'll do it. I'm probably gonna go back and watch that show at the end of season 1. Just to kind of compare and contrast what we expected season 1 to be.
Well, I remember
what happened.
I remember what we expected.
Okay, what did we expect?
We were way off, but we were misinformed. In all fairness, we were misinformed though. We were coasting off.
Were we expecting like a 20? Oh, you were constantly doing the Max Therio as Bruce Wayne thing.
Well, no, I do that regularly on Bates Motel. Again, we need a jar for that, but the rumors are going around that it was going to be like the kid was going to be 17 years old, or at least they'd grow him to 17 years old. Then again, we could still be right about that if they do advance him in the next season or something.
A lot of people have been talking about the potential for a time jump in between seasons.
Yeah, and again, to be honest, I don't think we're getting that. But if we do get time jumps, then maybe some of the stuff we said could potentially happen. I don't know. Well. We were off, but we don't know how much we were. Yeah, we should probably rewatch it by the end of the season and see how off we were.
I just think that'd be fun. And maybe, who knows, maybe we even called a few things. Like, I think from the pilot on, we'll definitely get into it, but I definitely think it's pretty clear that the Penguin is probably going to be one of the main villain story arcs of the season.
Yeah, people are loving the Penguin from what I've heard.
I'm loving the Penguin too. I am 100% Oswald Cobblepot in this show. He is great.
Well, I guess before we dive into this, is some general thoughts on this pilot. Just general thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I liked it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna compare it to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot rather, and I think this blew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. completely out of the water. I like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot. This was really good. It had a few flaws for me. I thought the plot was moving a little too fast, and there were a couple issues with how they handled young Bruce Wayne that I'll go into when we get to him. But on the whole, I thought it was a really strong opening episode. I mean, not quite to the iconic level of something like a Breaking Bad pilot or anything like that, but still, it was pretty damn engaging. So, yeah, I was really on board with it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest with you.
Well, I liked it very much too. It would definitely keep me wanting more, like wanting to revisit the thing and see how it's going to go forward. I'm interested, I'm hooked, I want to see more. However, I will say this, I liked a lot of stuff in this, however, I'm still not completely sold on it. I mean, I need to grow, it needs to grow on me a little more. So that's what a series is. It's only a pilot, after all.
Yeah, that's the case with everything, with every series, yeah.
Exactly. Just a few things in the pilot just still looks like they're going to need to grow on me, or I'm going to need to see more episodes about it. But again, we'll give it that time to see how things are. And we'll get into it as we review things. But overall, I mean, it's good, it's serviceable, most definitely, and we'll see where it goes from here, I love Ben McKenzie as Jim Gordon. He did an outstanding job, I think. And again, let's see him do some more stuff.
I'm not as high on him as you are. I wasn't too. I honestly thought that Donald Logue as Harvey Bullock kind of carried the episode for me.
Bullock was good. You like Bullock? I know you like Bullock.
I love Bullock. He is definitely like I probably like Bullock as much as, well, I don't know. Like James Gordon is literally one of your favorite fictional characters ever.
Yes.
But I love Bullock though. I love me some Bullock. So.
Well, Bullock, don't get me wrong, Bullock's an awesome character, and he's good. Pretty much always he's good.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know. I think Ben McKenzie, he kind of brings, like, I was a little worried. Part of me was a little worried. He wasn't just going to have much to do outside the whole consoling Bruce Wayne scene, but he seems to be able to carry it. And I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt he's going to be good. And he does dramas and usually police dramas before this. So I mean, I think he can do it. And he sold me on, like, he sounds like Gordon in my mind, like what a young Gordon would be. He kind of reminds me a bit of the Bryan Cranston Gordon from Year One, but a little younger. I like that. Which is ironic because they were both in that movie and in opposite roles too. He was Ben McKenzie was Batman in that movie. So I mean, I know he kind of has like the young Gordon. He's kind of bringing his own flair in that he's the hero of the city. He's the only hero we've got in this city, and I like that. So we'll get into this more during discussion, I guess.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I guess we should we dive into it then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's grab the flashlight. Let's go exploring. Here, okay.
Oh wait. I've got a flashlight. Let's do it.
All right.
Ooh.
Don't mind See this, folks? It's flashlights before bat signals here. Remember that. All right. So let's see. We start the episode. We see Selina Kyle in action, which is a little neat touch. We see Selina Kyle in action. She's stealing. She's using a knife to get steal some milk. She's stealing some wallets.
I really like the image of her with that milk carton just puffing out of her shirt, because
I like
that. To me that tells you this isn't the experienced Catwoman yet. You know what I mean? She got caught by the amateur.
Yeah, I mean, the thing really hit home on that for me was like when she got caught by the guy she stole the wallet from. But she's not that good yet.
Yeah, exactly. Which I was really impressed with in terms of the character. I wish we would have gotten a little more with this character besides just like being on the sidelines. But
that's gonna be remedied.
Spoiler alert, the second episode is literally called Selina Kyle, so I'm sure we'll get more on her.
So I'm sure it's fine, because I want to say this, actually, before we get any further, about the series overall. Something that's impressing me about this series, again, the worries I have were that, worries a lot of people have with this series, and the reason I'm a little, like you, Tiki, I'm liking this better than I thought I would. Going into this, the big fear is that I should be bouncing off the walls happy about a Jim Gordon show.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The fact that there's no Batman makes you worry that, okay, well, if Jim Gordon and the GCPD can take care of all these threats, why do we need Batman? Also, like, if it's just building towards a depressing end that basically Gotham's doomed without Batman, it's going to be a really depressing show. So, but it looks like they're really not just making a TV show featuring Batman characters. It seems like they're really making a statement about the city of Gotham itself. We'll get into that a little more in the discussion here, but I like how they're literally applying, like, this is a city full of these characters, and it's really about the city. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely, and they got into some really interesting political stuff that I'm sure we'll talk about. But,
and I think they're going to keep doing that again. Their next episode is going to be Selina Kyle, so it's not just going to be centered around one single character, Jim Gordon. I mean, he's going to be our lead through this thing, but still, we're going to explore other characters, too. Which
I think is a really smart thing for a series to do. Like, I mean, if you look historically, it's something like Lost. I know you didn't watch Lost. I don't really blame you. But Lost did the brilliant thing of, like having each episode devoted to a certain character and enriching their backstory and everything like that. I don't know if this is what we're in for in terms of Gotham, but with a second episode that's literally titled Selina Kyle, I have to assume we're going to center in on a lot of these characters, which is great.
And so let's see. So Selina, she makes a getaway from the guy that caught her stealing the wallet. She's feeding her little cat in the alleyway. Now here's a huge scene in the Batman mythos that we're introduced to here with some interesting twists to it.
Yeah.
So Selena. Okay, so anyway, so Selena Kyle, she hears some people coming. She hides in like one of the fire escapes above.
Uh-huh.
And down walks Thomas and Martha Wayne along with young Bruce, and they're talking about the movie they just saw.
And you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, whenever, man, I wonder if the Waynes ever just went for walks before that night.
Just had a movie night.
I mean, that makes sense. They'd have a movie night, but I'm just saying.
You know what? That'd be kind of a good twist to open the series with just the Waynes taking Bruce out to a movie and then them not getting shot because.
Yeah, like what if you just had the paranoia of it? Like they're looking around, like, man, this is a dangerous neighborhood. Maybe we shouldn't come down here anymore.
Right. Like build it up throughout the episode and then have it happen at the end.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You still.
I really love how really the enticing incident for the whole series is the death of the Waynes.
Oh yeah.
Like that is the moment that puts everything in motion for the story, which I think serves it well. Like I wouldn't change it. I'm just saying, like, it'd be funny. It'd be kind of like trolling the audience a little bit if it was just like, oh hey, oh look, this is the Waynes, and they're just getting out of a movie. Oh no, bad stuff's gonna go down. No, it's not. We're gonna tease you about that.
I'm just saying, like, just generally. I'm not saying they need to do that with this. I'm just saying generally, you never really see the happy like Wayne even play out.
I think it'd be a really fun idea to explore, but
anyway, so getting on to here's the big exciting incident here because we got Selena Kyle up and then the fire escape. So the Waynes are walking down there. I don't know if it's a right issue or not, but they can't mention they didn't mention the movie's title. So it didn't sound like it was Zorro, but it could have been. We don't know. They're talking about the movie, and Martha likes it, but Thomas and Bruce didn't like it. And they're joking about it, so what kind of word is kind of lame? It was totally lame.
Oh boy, yeah, and it's just like, oh man, they're humanizing these people right off the bat. Oh, this ain't gonna be pretty.
Yep, and here's the some stylistic changes. At first I was a little put off by, but really rewatching it, it's growing on me definitely. We see this figure walk down the alleyway, the big. Dramatic figure of our, let's just call him Joe Chill because we all know who he is now, but let's just say Joe Chill.
Yeah.
Our mugger and or Joe Chill. He walks down here and he basically asks for the pearls in the wallet and jewelry, which they oblige to. Which I gotta say, I don't mean to sound too picky, but the guy playing Thomas Wayne, he says a little too threateningly. He says, "No problem." You notice that? I'm just saying.
No, I didn't notice that, but I can see that.
I'm sorry. He sounds a little standoffish, like saying "no problem." Again, it's a very minor nitpick. I like the look of the guy playing Thomas Wayne. I gotta be honest with you. I wouldn't mind flashbacks of that guy. Anyway,
I'm sure we'll probably get some flashbacks in the future. That's probably gonna happen.
Anyway, so of course the event plays out. This is important. The subtleties of this are very important. So listen. So the pearls, he takes the pearls and like a strand of the pearls breaks. The pearls are falling classic shot.
Oh yeah.
So this is important. Our mugger here, he gets what he wants. No problems. No like classic thing from the comics of like he vigorously he rips off the pearls and then Thomas steps in and gets shot. Not that. He gets what he wants. He just walk away. He directly shoots and kills the Waynes. There was a pause. He kills him right on the spot, and he walks away like a monster.
Right.
And so he took the moment, methodically thought about killing him in that moment, and he did it.
This is going to be like kind of silly, but to tell you the truth, like in the moment when the pearls fall and then he freaks out and shoots them, I was kind of thinking like, did they just imply that he shot them because he got pissed off about the pearls falling?
No, because the thing in the comics is that usually the Wayne murder goes down one of two ways. Way one is classically, and what we usually always go with, is a random mugging.
Mm-hmm.
It's random, random mugging gone wrong, and or it's random mugging. Option B, and this is the one they toyed with in the episode, I was impressed by, that Lou Moxon commissioned it, or like some higher up commissioned it.
Okay, yeah, and that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility considering how corrupt we see Gotham in this episode, which I thought was one of the real strengths of the show so far.
Oh, big time, definitely.
Yeah.
But still, I'm saying that's one of two ways it goes down. That's what I was first stuck in my mind. Oh man, he directly killed him. They might be going like the mob origin.
Okay, interesting. Well, the mob is definitely playing a big part, so.
Or option B, which I think they might be going with, but then again, it's up in the air. I'm going to say they're going with this. That the city is so bad, and again, they're really sticking home with that corruption point you just made.
Mm-hmm.
They're really sticking at that Gotham is, before Batman, Gotham is in rough shape, just morally with the people. And I'm thinking, personally, what I think is like the city's so violent and corrupt that basically people are just feeling more violent and get away with murder, literally. That mugger sees an opportunity, says, I can kill him, no one will stop me. And of course, option 3 would be basically he knows about the Waynes and he hates them and he just shoots them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Basically, hey, why do these guys have to have so much of the pot? I'm going to kill them. But again, I think it's just the city is so violent and just so full of like these people doing terrible things. I think he just shot him because it was an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't want to say it was a flaw of the episode to me, but like I said, I was kind of like, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine.
No, but regardless, you see what I'm saying? Like the city's so in such bad shape because people are so morally defeated like that.
Yeah, I hear you. I
think it's an interesting idea they could play with, but it's nothing set in stone yet.
Right, for sure.
Anyway, so the point is this murder happens. Selina Kyle bears witness to, which I think it might be an interesting thing they could play with.
Oh, they're definitely playing with that.
So again, so overall, I liked how they're kind of taking the classic origin. Again, just the mugger's attire. He has like these. He's wearing a black hat.
Right,
black...
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he never wore that in any version.
Uh-huh.
And what I liked about it is that it kind of takes the classic visual image of like sometimes you'll see stylistically they'll just show Joe Chill's eyes or like the murderer's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So I liked how they're kind of doing that, and it makes sense. They're doing like a physical point. Like there's no way of identifying this guy.
Sure.
Because all you saw were the eyes and the shiny shoes.
And it just makes for just a more intimidating image on screen too. Yeah.
Again, at first that kind of bugged me just watching the trailers, but really it sold me on it here. Just the idea of these little changes, like the big 3 changes in the murder here, were Selina Kyle watching, which I was like intrigued by.
Mm-hmm.
Just the eye slits of the guy, the direct murder, and the third bit being how gruesome. We've never seen a murder this gruesomely done.
Right.
Because I'll admit the CG effect's a little weak. I'm sorry, it's just that when the bullet hits him, it's a little weak.
Yeah, I have a feeling weak CGI is going to be a reoccurring problem with the show.
Yeah, you can. They did well on the CG for the city because basically they had like these pyres added to New York City.
We'll talk about that more, but yeah, they definitely did. The city itself, the design is very good for sure. But
but the point is, so basically the blood is really a bloody, more gruesome, like grim depiction of it. We've seen like more like Bruce like clutching the blood, the blood in the hand stuff. It was really dark, and you felt for the kid. Basically, it also was the first time one of the first times Bruce Wayne's actually just screamed out.
Yeah, what do you think of that scream? Did you think it was appropriate?
Oh, well, the kid's parents were murdered. I don't see why not.
No, I mean from an acting point of view. Was it a little over the top?
He's a 13-year-old kid, so he's going to have a little bit of a girly scream. So, it's you can only do so much. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag right now. The actor playing Bruce Wayne is perhaps my biggest issue/worry about this show.
Well, Tiki, I think I'm going to change your mind on that by the end of this.
I'll get into why in terms of like We'll talk about this at the end, but I really didn't like that last scene with Gordon
I strongly disagree. We'll get to that.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
You'll see.
That'll be an interesting discussion.
I think I'm going to change your mind on this, Tiki.
I don't like the fact that Bruce Wayne is basically like dictating to Gordon at this point when he's a 13-year-old kid.
You'll see. We'll get to it.
Okay. Now I'm intrigued.
Anyway, so basically the point is the murder is done visually and just a bunch of things differently than it usually is, and I think that's intriguing, and I think they're going to play with some ideas there.
Mhm.
So it's an interesting change. They made changes that weren't just changes for the heck of it. It seems like changes with purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
The grand murder happens. You're right. Sets everything into motion. Really cool way to start things. You know, you have what makes Gotham? What changes Gotham? The Wayne murder. That's the big event. So that's where we start.
Yeah,
So
and I also really like the fact that, throughout the episode, it's not just Bruce that's affected by it, it's the whole damn city. The whole city falls apart because of it, really. Or starts to fall apart. It's really brilliant the way they did it and the way they made it, like, the singular event that sets off everything, not just with Bruce, but with everyone in the show.
Oh yeah. So there's definitely a lot of cause and effect there.
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, let's see. Meanwhile, we get an introduction to one of my favorite characters. We're at the GCPD, which is going to be our regular set here of the bullpen.
And might I just say, I love this set. I love it.
It's a physical set. It looks great. It's a big old practical set there.
It's marvelous, and I like how dirty it feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I should say, visually for the show, they're going for, mind you, there's always like a 20-year age gap between Bruce Wayne and Jim Gordon. So the point is, like, this is set pretty much 20 years before Batman.
Right. Yeah.
Essentially. So whenever it is, they're trying to keep it ambiguous, yet people have cell phones pretty much. It's kind of like the animated series. They're kind of doing, what they're trying to do is kind of go for like what the animated series does in a way.
Mm-hmm. Kind of blend the old and the new a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to go a little timeless with it, but really they're kind of trying to emulate the year one style, like it's a 70s look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So essentially that's why the cars look particularly 70s-ish.
Sure.
So they're kind of going for like a 70s feel, even though you have cell phones, pretty much. But they're trying to go timeless as they can. It looks like they're succeeding so far, you know.
And very Blade Runner-esque with with all the neon and everything.
Oh yeah, a little bit of hints here and there. Maybe the Schumacher. Who knows?
No, Blade Runner.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just kidding.
Schumacher wishes he could do Blade Runner.
He does wish he could do it. Anyway, so we got a grand entrance to one of my favorite characters. So we have the GCP, and we get kind of a realistically shot, kind of like a police an arrest gone wrong here.
Uh-huh.
Essentially, this isn't the first time it's ever happened in a police station. Someone having the grapes to grab a gun, basically shooting up the place.
Right, and he's complaining about his pills, and this is interesting because this is something that we were kind of talking about before we went on air, but I didn't really pick up the significance of the pills. I just kind of thought he was like a crazy man, just because that is kind of like a stereotype of crazy people, and I should know because I am clinically kind of crazy. But that's a stereotype of just like the crazy person, like I need my meds. So I don't know. I didn't, but it's interesting. You're right, because Montoya also mentions the pills, so it's kind of a really sort of a mystery element to the show. But
so the point is. The point is some crazy gunman's now holding a cop hostage.
It's really intense.
It is. I love the way that was shot. It's such a realistic thing. And then basically all the cops have their guns drawn, and our dashing hero comes in. James Gordon, yay, I'm happy. He comes in and he diffuses the situation, and he says, no one shoot, okay, no one fire, hold your fire. He comes in and says, hey, what's your name? My name's Jim Gordon, and that's just cool. He has to introduce himself somehow. That's what Jim Gordon would do. That's what you would do to defuse a high-intensity situation like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, it definitely feels very Gordon-like, for sure. It's a very proper introduction.
No, I just love visually that just love the concept that he's trying to not draw the gun on this guy. He's trying to talk him down. With everyone else, like visually, just that one shot, like everyone in the police station has their guns drawn, and yet Gordon doesn't. Right, yeah. That image, and with like kind of like the hand extended, like, hey, listen, everybody, calm down. I would look at that poster of that or something. I don't know.
kind of really sums up the series so far in a nutshell. At least what we know about it one episode in.
At least for Gordon, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so the point is, he's talking the guy down. Basically says, I need my pills, and Gordon, and clever, so clever. I love, again, they're really selling me on Gordon here, and Mackenzie's delivering it well enough. He grabs this bottle of aspirin, and he basically, here you go. He hides the label, says, here are your pills, and he gives it to him, and he distracts him, and he takes him down. Okay, now, before the really important thing happens, I want to mention about some theories about the pills.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, should we just save speculation for the end of what the pills might be, or do you want to get into it now a little?
It doesn't matter. Let's get into it.
Yeah, essentially, a few theories, because let's face it, like pills, drugs, and hallucinogens aren't new to Gotham. It could be a variety of different villains or hints at villains for the future. A lot of people are speculating it's Bane because Venom. Venom started out as in pill form in the comics.
Oh, okay.
I doubt that because the guy doesn't really seem like he's on steroids.
Right.
But there's a chance that Montoya might be on these pills too, because they say Bullock makes a reference that Montoya is on like a pill head.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure about Venom and other people. The natural next speculation would be Scarecrow and the fear toxin.
Of course.
But I'm thinking, why would people take something that makes them afraid of stuff?
What about the Mad Hatter?
Thanks, Tiki. Yes, I'm putting my money on the Mad Hatter.
Sorry to bury your lead.
Yes, that's a hallucinogen that people. That's a pill that could be a hallucinogen that gives people a feeling of euphoria, a wonderland, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense for the Mad Hatter. And then, of course, the fourth option would be literally what you just said. Tiki, basically like a crazy person, like an Arkham inmate, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For a future episode, just saying he needs his medication.
Just a stereotype crazy person.
So essentially, it could be that, and it could still tie into a future thing potentially on the show.
Yeah.
And if not, though, still, I think it'd be more interesting if it was the Mad Hatter. And I think it's the only direction really they can go at this point.
Wait. Are you saying that the Mad Hatter that character is the Mad Hatter himself, or just that the pills are manufactured by?
Yeah, I'm saying the pills are manufactured.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was like, I don't know if it's actually the Mad Hatter. That's kind of.
Yeah, I'm saying like the guy, whoever's manufacturing pills, like what the pills are. I'm assuming that if Montoya's taking these pills, it must be like something that's not terrifying you and not giving you steroids. I'm assuming it's just going to be like a hallucinogen.
It wouldn't be the fear toxin, because why in God's name would anyone be like addicted to that?
The only way I could figure someone could be addicted to the fear toxin in drug form would be like you get hooked on the adrenaline, I guess.
I can see that. I can actually kind of see that, because I was actually born with only one adrenaline gland, so I do have an adrenaline problem. It leads to a lot of anxiety. Yeah, and it's also the reason why I'm such a big roller coaster enthusiast, is I get a really big adrenaline rush. So I can actually kind of see that.
Yeah, think about it, like people will just be paying for that to get the rush of adrenaline, or like if they're basically keep them aware of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's like an ultimate stimulant type thing that might be.
But there's much better drugs. There's much better drugs than fear toxin.
Well, I know, but also it could be like a derivative. Like obviously, he's not going to say it's called fear toxin, but like a derivative of it's like some kind of derivative that kind of takes away your inhibitions or something.
Right.
And, like hyper awareness, like cocaine, almost like a cocaine type deal, maybe.
For sure, yeah.
The point is, I'm thinking Mad Hatter because it's not like that you could buy like an ecstasy type drug.
There's an obscure drug that I'm kind of thinking of right now, but I'm not going to get into it because it require a whole lot of explaining. So yeah.
Well, my speculation, it's like a Mad Hatter like ecstasy type drug in pill form.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so that's just the theory. But here's the important. Back to our story here. Sorry, a little brief tangent there.
Yeah.
But it fits into the show.
So I hope it's not just a crazy person stereotype.
Yeah. Anyway, so Jim Gordon, after he defused the situation, he's happy. He says, "Sorry guys, I didn't mean to talk down to you. Just trying to defuse the situation."
Mm-hmm.
The cops, and this is important. The cops are so corrupt, and so also there was an awesome shot of Bullock like reading the paper, just flips it down when he hears the thing going on. Anyway, so after Gordon, he's defused the situation, the guy's down. The cops come there and they unnecessarily beat the crap out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a bit where Gordon says, "Hey, knock it up." Well, but guys, he's already down. Don't worry about it. And basically, then a cop literally shoves Gordon out of the way so he can get another punch into the guy.
Right. Yeah.
So that just shows you how in shambles the Gotham Police Department is at this point.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be something that's brought up throughout the episode. And like I said, one of the big strong points of the whole episode so far is just that depiction. It's really, because that's what you got to nail down with the series. The series doesn't work if Gordon doesn't have something besides just like, oh, I'm going to catch Bruce Wayne's parents' killer. You know, he needs something besides that to motivate him, and I think the depiction of this corrupt police force really does the trick for me. It really draws you in.
Oh yeah, okay. Walk us through the introduction of your favorite character here.
It's been a while. Can you do it?
Okay. So,
sorry, I really should have rewatched the episode.
So, Harvey Bullock, wonderfully played by Donald Logue. He walks in, basically he chews out Gordon because they're partners, and Gordon's new to the force and he's partnered up with Bullock, and basically he says, hey, listen, the guy grabs a gun in the police department, you shoot him.
Right, yeah.
You know? Well, I figure it's going to be everyone shooting their guns, it's going to go crazy, and someone's going to get caught in the crossfire. This is one of the, look, the guy takes a gun, you shoot him, okay? The sooner you get that, the better. Anyway,
yeah.
So it's an interesting introduction for Bullock there.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, Bullock's just kind of setting up the established order. It doesn't seem like he's being too out of line. And you can kind of get his point there. Like, yeah, that is kind of standard protocol that you are ordered to shoot someone if they do something like that.
It was a very intense situation. Yeah, Gordon did kind of take a risk by kind of putting it into his own hands.
Oh, yeah.
Could have very, very easily gone south. And then, hey, that's the end of James Gordon's career. That's all, folks.
Oh, yeah. Should also mention, I guess we'll mention here, it's going to be mentioned throughout the episode, but yeah, we'll mention it here. Yeah, Jim Gordon, for those who may not be familiar, they call him, Bullock nicknames him Soldier Boy. And it is mentioned that he has military experience, and that is because he's a Green Beret in the military. And that's from the comics. He was a Green Beret. He was a Green Beret for a while. We don't know how much, but apparently in this version he's a war hero, and his father kind of had some clout, and he got the job at Gotham.
Okay.
In this version, though, his father's never been mentioned in the comics, to my knowledge.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, the point is that's why Gordon is military. That's why he can do pretty much Batman-ish stuff in this.
Well, you gotta have a Batman-ish character. So.
You gotta remember, Gordon was formidable in his youth. Like in year one, he because of his Green Beret training, he takes out some other corrupt cops. He's pretty good at hands-on.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's the same theory as like Alfred. You know, it's like Alfred's a badass as well. So it's like, you know, just because he's older doesn't mean he doesn't have like years and years of experience to draw from.
Exactly. Anyway, so let's see. So basically, Bullock reluctantly gets the call. So yeah, come on, I'm off in an hour. Exactly, in an hour. So he and Gordon they get sent to a crime scene. And what crime scene, pray tell? Wayne murder. Okay, so we're at the Wayne murder. Bullock's looking at the crime scene. Gordon, the guy. I like how Gordon's the one who picks up on this. I'm going to take the kid.
Yeah, he picks up on it right away. He kind of just asks, like, who's the kid? And then they say, oh, it's Bruce Wayne. Does he ask who's the kid, or does he know who the kid is?
Well, Gordon doesn't know who the kid is.
Okay,
the thing is, I don't know if he just walks up. I think he just walks up to the kid, but he might, like, ask who the... No, he doesn't know. He just walks up to the kid.
I think he asks, like, I think he kind of confirms that it's the, the parents, or the kid, the... Okay,
Bullock, he looks at
I don't know why, I'm sorry, I don't know why I got mumble-mouthed right there.
So anyway, I'm pretty sure that it's, Gordon goes over to the kid, because again, Gordon's a people person, he cares about children. He goes over there, he cares for the victims and stuff.
He basically just takes it upon himself.
Yeah, he takes on the kid, and meanwhile, Bullock, he's looking at the crime scene, asks basically he finds out who these guys are. Finds out they're Thomas and Martha Wayne, and basically says, oh, crap, listen, you never saw me here. Says, wait, what? He says, look, you know all the stuff, all the pressure it's going to be on us for solving this thing, it's too big a case. Give it Major Crimes Unit. Says, well, but it's too late, because now Gordon's talking to the kid. He's identifying with the kid. So.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
That epitomizes a feeling I think you're going to go with the series. Like, Gordon's always going to do the right thing, and Bullock...
No doubt. Yeah.
Now, I should mention to you, Tiki, because you're not overly familiar with Bullock, aside from the animated series, am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't even seen that much animated series Bullock. I've watched like 9 episodes.
Approximately.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with Bullock is that in the animated series he's just soiled, Matt. He kind of breaks some rules and internal affairs, gets on his case a lot. In the comics, though, it's a little more he was like formally corrupt.
Okay, yeah, I kind of got that.
It's like formally corrupt and a little dirty, but he's always a good cop at heart. And basically, again, he was barely dirty in the comics. Sometimes it varies for how dirty he was.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, so that's why I was a little wondering, like, curiously, how they're going to go with this. I knew he was going to be a little corrupt. I wasn't sure how much. So
sure.
And I like how they're kind of keeping a little bit of the animated series. Like, he's good underneath it all, and basically, Bullock is a good cop. And, at the end of the series, basically, Gordon's going to get through to Bullock and inspire him.
Essentially, what I got out of the Bullock character was like, he's corrupt, but only for the sake of survival. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Anyway, so Bullock's just he does the job and he does it to get by, but he has to do corrupting. Again, he's just soiled pretty much. He's soiled, but he has direct ties to corruption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Anyway, so meanwhile, Gordon's talking to the kid. He finds out, what's your name? Bruce Wayne.
Oh, and by the way, BlueDragonFive, I have some bad news for you.
What?
My bad news is that officially Gordon is not a true hero. Because he didn't put the code over Bruce Wayne to comfort him. And a true hero does that. A real hero. I've literally been formulating that joke in my head for like 10 minutes now.
10 minutes to formulate the joke, but not 10 minutes to watch the episode. Okay.
Okay, well, to be fair, I didn't even know we were doing this until you messaged me tonight, so...
All right.
Alright, so...
Anyway, he's throwing that in my face, that Bruce Wayne had the coat, like the blanket around him before then, because...
Yeah, so I don't know. Looks like Gordon's not going to be a true hero in this series. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Okay, anyway, so a really good scene. Now, I want you to pay attention to 3 scenes here. The 3 scenes that Bruce Wayne has with Gordon here. Very important to get him to like the kid here.
Well, convince me, yeah.
I'm convincing you. I'm starting the
I
journey
like
here.
this opening scene. It's the other 2 scenes, especially the last scene I had a problem with.
No, I'm going to convince you. I'm going to convince you of that last scene.
Okay.
Anyway, so starting here, we see the emotionally fractured Bruce Wayne. So the murder has just happened. He's scared. He just saw his world is crumbling around him. He's alone in that alleyway. And Jim Gordon is pretty much the only one to walk up to him and physically talk to the kid, presumably.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Basically, treat him like a human, and Gordon sits down with him. The kid, he's too scared to even tell him his name at first. Mm-hmm. He's too shaken by the events.
I don't know. Maybe if we would have put his coat over him, then he would have told him his name. Oh God, I need to stop this.
Anyway, don't throw my favorite moment arises at me, okay? Anyway, so point is, Gordon, this moment really caught me off guard because I think this is pretty much original to the series. I could be wrong. I'm like 90% sure it's original to the series. That Gordon relays some backstory here that he kind of knows what it's like because his father was also killed somewhat.
Right.
Basically, his father died in a car accident. He was right there, and he felt like he could do nothing. Essentially he was there when his father died in a car accident. He kind of knows he can kind of relate to Bruce Wayne. And from that, Bruce Wayne he starts to work up the courage, saying, "I'm Bruce Wayne," and basically tell him what happened. He's working his way through. He's getting some courage there. He's working his way through, telling him.
Mm-hmm.
You tell him basically saw a man with shiny shoes. He just walked up and just killed him. And it's really traumatic. You feel for the kid at the very least. He's been through a lot. And again, the actor so far is really convincing me of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is kind of this kid is going through the transformative years of Bruce Wayne. I'm being sold on that so far. It's a big thing the kid's doing right. Anyway,
well, like I said, this scene, I really like the actor. I just, but we'll see. I'm interested.
Okay. Anyway, the big thing in this scene really just kind of almost forms a lump in the throat. It's really good. There's one Gordon. It's overused in the trailers, yes, but it's a good line. Darn it! It's again, I like just Mackenzie sounds like Gordon when he's saying these lines. It really sells me on it. The delivery, he's even got the face. Of course, minus the mustache. He's got kind of the face of a year one Gordon to me.
I really hope they grow out that damn mustache.
He's got to earn the mustache at the end of the season. I'm standing firm by that. I'll give him this. Again, there's one story in the comics where we didn't have a mustache called Gordon of Gotham.
Okay.
It's when he was in Chicago before he transferred over to Gotham. Young guy, he had no mustache, but you know what?
Aww.
I'm saying if you're not going to give the mustache to be young, if you're going to tie him with that, even better. That's fine, but he has to earn that darn mustache by the end of the season. Okay, he earns it. He grows experience with facial hair. Anyway, so the point is, he has this great line. He says, he consoles Bruce by saying, "Look, however dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light." And then he says, "And I promise you this, Bruce. Bruce, I promise you I will find the man who killed your parents."
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. You know, Jim Gordon, he means that promise. He's the most honest cop in Gotham. Even at this point, we see he's the most honest guy. He's given a fair shot trying to save the city here.
Yeah, and it is a really good line in spite of being overused in the trailer quite a bit. I can kind of see why it was used.
And think about this. So the big event that shapes Gotham is the Wayne murder, and the only guy who really wants to help this kid, the one that, like, with no selfish motivation at all, the one who wants to save this kid, and by proxy, he'd be saving Gotham, is Jim Gordon. That's his symbolic that he's going to save this city. He's going to be part of the solution to this city.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
basically, he's trying to solve the big thing that shaped this city. He's directly being a part of that.
Right.
Yeah, so he's proactive. He's in the trailer. I don't know if it's in the trailer. Basically, promising he'll find the killer. That's a big motivation because you know that's technically a battle you're prone not to win in the comics.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, oh boy, here we go. Here's my kind of issue. Is like, for me, I felt like they kind of almost put a little too much emphasis on it.
If they don't. I'm gonna have some gripes with it if they don't actually have Gordon find the killer.
Well, one could argue that if he doesn't find the killer, it'd be kind of a learning curve for him and sort of messing something up. You know what I mean?
Yes, but by the end, with the ending of this episode, if they did that, it'd be a little cheap.
True, very true.
That's the only reason. Otherwise, I give them that, but they kind of do that a little prematurely with this. So that means they can't do that again. So he has to find the killer, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, and they could always do. They did in Batman Begins. They got the guy, and he went to trial.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm saying usually, like a lot of times, it's just Joe Chill. He goes off in the shadows, and he never meets him again, or either that he meets him again, or like he confronts him. A lot of different versions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
I really hope they don't draw it out too long.
Like I wouldn't mind if I don't think they need to periodically go back now because he's gonna have a lot on his plate, dealing with a lot of cases. I presume, but it'll always be like one he's working on. I assume it'll work its way in. Definitely by the end of the season, I assume it'll come back.
I honestly hope it happens by the halfway point of the season, just because I don't want a mystery like that to be drawn out so long, because I don't really... Because it's like, what are the options? It's either going to be Joe Chill or it's going to be connected to the mob, right? Like, those are kind of the two theories we're running on, so it's like...
Well, I'm just trying to be vague about it, given what we're going through the review here, but it's only going to go one way.
Right. So
we'll get into it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that if it's only going to go one way, there's no real need to stretch it out for a full
The only
season.
question is whether he's going to get the guy or not.
Okay. Well,
that's the only question, whether he's going to find the guy or not.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Anyway, also why, because he does specify the why, and that's also important from that beginning mention. Remember, he took the moment to hesitate and kill them.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's that too. He mentioned why, so why is important. Okay, let's see. So anyway, okay. Oh, the punctuation of this scene is Alfred walks in, and he can. Alfred walks through the tape, and it's a big reveal too. It's a big old play on. And Bruce Wayne, he runs up, he hugs Alfred, and basically, and this is an important moment. Jim Gordon, he walks by and he asks who he is Alfred Pennyworth. And basically, I love. Now, this is a very grizzled Alfred too.
It is, yeah.
This is an Alfred you really.
From the brief moments we got of him this episode, you can totally tell that.
Now again, this character's gonna have to win me over because Alfred's kind of one of my weakest characters in this episode.
Okay.
Because when he's on screen, he doesn't have. To be fair, he doesn't have a lot to do yet, so he has to sell him. Points I need to be sold on.
He only had 2 scenes in the whole episode, so.
Yeah, I just need to be sold on him more. To be fair, but this actor also, it's hard for me to grow on this guy. I've seen him in Elementary before.
Oh, really?
He plays Lestrade, the Inspector Lestrade in Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
Elementary specifically. It's Sean Pertwee, I think the guy's name is. Mm-hmm. Point is, he's played an unlikable character in that, which makes me a little worried. And his actions are kind of not totally unlikable. They're kind of a little more grizzled in this. So I just need more time for him. That's all I'm saying.
But like I said, I mean, after Michael Caine, and Michael Caine is so fresh in everyone's head, and Michael Caine was so damn lovable and flawless in those movies, I got to admit I'm kind of a little bit refreshed by an Alfred that's a little rough around the edges. I'm feeling this Alfred a little more than you are, to be honest.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, again, it's only 2 scenes. I like the first scene he's in. It's just the second scene. It's not...
Well, the second scene, when you want to just get it out of the way when he basically curses.
Well, no. We'll get to it.
Okay.
The point is, I like the moment. This is an important moment. Again, speaking of the corruption in Gotham City. Now, Alfred, he's not innocent to the world. He knows Gotham. He's lived there longer, presumably. And he consoles Bruce for a moment. Then Gordon comes and asks who he is, Alfred Pennyworth, and basically he tells him, I'll find the killer. And basically says, you're new, aren't you? You're new to the city, aren't you? Saying yes. Good luck, mate.
Yeah,
I think he either says good luck then or good luck, mate. I can't really tell. I think he says mate.
It's a very strong sort of Cockneyed accent, so yeah, it is kind of difficult.
So anyway, he makes his exit. The point is, Alfred, he knows the cops in the city are bad, but however, Gordon comes in and he's a new guy. He says, "Well, good luck then, because maybe there's a shot with you." Mm-hmm. And also, this is an important little bit. When he's walking out, he tells Bruce, chin up, basically to avoid the paparazzi.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a really powerful moment to me because it's so devastating because that is the last thing that you want to tell a 13-year-old when he's grieving about his dead parents that he just witnessed the murder to. But I don't know, I really love that moment. That was, to tell you the truth, that was one of the best moments of the whole episode for me. I don't know why it resonated with me so much.
Well, remember that, T, because that's going to feed into why you're going to like Bruce Wayne.
Okay, interesting. I'm still not convinced. I don't know.
You'll be convinced.
I don't know. I didn't like Bruce Wayne's little mini mafia boss thing going on at the end, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, moving forward.
Okay, let's see. So they walk off. Lost it. They walk off in the paparazzi. Darn it.
This is where we meet. This is where we go to fish.
Well, no, not yet. No, we go to the diner next.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyways, what I forgot I was going to say about after Alfred just wishing him luck. Oh yeah, basically just said he wishes him luck, so he might be shot. Oh, I remember what I was going to say now. I'm sorry. Alfred, the version of Alfred they're going with here, I should mention, is he's kind of in the description we've gotten pre-series, and what it looks like they're going for. Just what you mentioned about the training there. Mm-hmm. It got me thinking, because in Beware the Batman and in the Earth 1 comics, they're going with kind of the tough bodyguard Alfred, which looks like I think that's what they're going with. So even you can tell at the end of this that they're going more rough around the edges Alfred, which kind of still implicates like a bodyguard kind of ex-military outfit they might be going with.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I don't think it's quite as badass as the Brave and the Bold interpretation, but
yeah. But I wouldn't mind like a blend of that, to be honest with you, because I still want like a cuddly.
I'm sorry, not Brave and the Bold. Beware the Batman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Beware the Batman. But I still want kind of like a blend between Beware the Batman Alfred and kind of a cuter, cuddlier Alfred, so to speak.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, so we're at the. No good.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's only an episode in, so there is still time for a lot of cuteness and cuddliness to come.
Yeah.
So
soften around the edges a little. Anyway,
exactly.
So we're at a diner, and this is a nice scene. Any classic buddy cop movie and/or series has to have a diner scene.
Of course.
So Jim and Gordon Harvey both kind of fleshing out their relationship there. Basically Bullock's irritated Gordon because you got us hooked on this case. You know that? You realize, and like a Bullock's like Gordon saying, "Well, what's wrong with it?" And Bullock's saying it. But do you know how much pressure is going to be on us to solve this thing as fast as we can? You know how hard the case this is to find a masked mugger, and all we got are shiny shoes to go on. He didn't say that, but that would have been funny.
Good stuff.
That was the only clue Bruce Wayne said to Gordon, by the way, that he had shiny shoes, pretty much, and he was tall.
Oh, right, yeah.
Anyway, so point is, Bullock, he is dreading this thing because there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to solve this impossible case. And then who walks in? Their saving grace, presumably. Montoya and Renee Montoya and Crispus Allen, who are cops from the comics and the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Not Allen, though, just Montoya. You know Montoya.
Oh, of course.
Anyway, so and they're big old fan favorites too, but they're betrayed, and they're kind of another weak point. They're the other weak point in this episode for me.
Definitely, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, they're a little douchey in their appearance here.
I was really disappointed with that because I love the Montoya character, and I love her chemistry with Bullock too. So
yeah, you bear in mind that in the comics, usually her partner is Crispus Allen, so usually her Bullock moments are with Crispus Allen.
Right.
Just bear that in mind. But anyway, so the thing is, Crispus Allen and Renee Montoya, they're MCU. So the MCU is like kind of the thing Gordon will later on he'll run for a while.
Mm.
But the point is they kind of switch it up a little. So Montoya is actually around before Gordon, or at least around the same time as Gordon.
Yeah.
And she's higher up than she is usually. Usually she's in beat cop by this point.
Right.
So the point is, these guys, the MC, there's a big rivalry going on. This is important. I'm sure you're going to go back to this between the Major Crimes Unit and the GCPD. The Major Crimes Unit, I guess, has less corruption. They think they're better. When they have corruption, it's bad corruption, presumably from Bullock's set here. Where the GCPD is full of like a lot of rampant corruption, and basically they're not getting as many cases solved as Major Crimes Unit. Again, Major Crimes Unit. They think they are they're hot stuff, according to Bullock.
Oh yeah.
Which kind of makes sense, Major Crimes Unit versus GCPD.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like you said, it kind of goes back to it's another sort of classic cop trope. It's like the frickin', the standard beat cops versus the FBI or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of like in Die Hard where the FBI takes over everything.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And that's the thing, though. Here's the issue, because these guys are really good cops. It's just because they're usually on the level with Gordon. That's why we're really put off by this. Because usually these are like fellow Gordonites,
Exactly. Yeah, that's why it was so like, wait, what? What's going on?
Yeah, because is it just me or is Crispus Allen like a tooth-filled smile? Like he has like too many teeth or something? Like when he grins, you kind of like the guy. He grins like so happy.
Yeah, it is a killer smile for sure.
Yeah, this guy could be Joker for all we know. No, it'd be ridiculous.
Oh my God, Joker! Oh, Joker theories. That's
yeah. Anyway, so the point is, Montoya now they want to take the case off his hands, and the reason is for press. Again, not to help Bruce Wayne because they want the press.
Yeah, that's great.
And now, I love this moment here. It's such a classic cop moment, like a Lethal Weapon moment of Gordon saying, "No, don't you do." Don't hand it off, don't hand it off. And then Bullock said, hey, wait, well, what do you guys want? And Bullock looking for the opportunity here. What do you guys want? They always want for the press. And basically, Montoya, she jumps the gun saying, well, do something right for once in your life. Wait, what's that supposed to mean? You know, you kiss my grits. You know, get out of here.
Right.
Basically, and I love how Bullet makes the point because he was so right about this. I was this close to giving it to you, but you just had to go blow it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like.
And you know what? I get a feeling that we're gonna like Chris Zhao and Montoya through the course series. At least that's what they're trying to do, because they make Chris Zhao a little likable in that scene.
I definitely like him more than I like her at this point. So,
I tell you, Montoya does something in this episode that really pisses me off.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know.
I know.
The point is, the point is that Major Crime Unit. I think what they're going for, I'm hoping it's going to play out like the way they're intending it here, is that Major Crime Unit, there's misled that until Gordon shows up and kind of cleans up the GCPD, they think all the cops are corrupt and they're doing a bad job.
Oh yeah, sorry. Just keep going. Sorry.
And they're doing a bad job. And I think what they're going for is that. I'm sorry, I'm dizzy, folks.
Oh my god. Okay.
Anyway, so what I think they're so what I think they're going for is that Gordon's going to win over the Major Crimes Unit in the future. And
okay, yeah, for sure. I can totally see that.
Like, Gordon's going to bring out the best in the GCPD, and then by proxy win over Major Crimes Unit. They're all going to be a happy, law-abiding family.
Yeah, law-abiding, yeah.
At least, going in that direction. So I'm hoping they're going to make them more likable, because they play Montoya like she's a friend of Barbara Keene's, which we're going to get into.
A friend, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Anyway, so, oh yeah, definitely. Anyway, so let's see. Meanwhile, speaking of Barbara, our next scene is we see. Oh, no, actually, no, not Barbara. Sorry, different. Okay, we're back at the GCPD headquarters. We see Sarah Essen. Now, Sarah Essen is going to be very important, presumably, because in the comic she is. This is a big change, Tiki. Sarah Essen was in year one actually. She was the woman Gordon cheated on Barbara with.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So when Barbara was pregnant with James Jr., he was having an affair with Sarah Essen.
Right.
I gotta tell you, though, it's kind of a funny reverse that in the comic, Sarah Essen's blonde and Barbara's dark-haired.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So, it's a minor, very minor thing, but, it's, I gotta tell you, though, again, I don't think they're gonna go that route, because I'm gonna be kind of cruelly honest with you here. She's not that attractive as Barbara. I'm sorry. In comparison, I'm just saying.
Well, let's start everything BlueDragonFive.
I understand. I wouldn't. It'd be hard self, man. They gotta give me some character moments between those two before I buy they're getting in a relationship. I'm just saying, looks-wise, so far, and this with one episode down, I'm not seeing the connection, any connection. But then again, that's years off, mind you.
Yeah,
that'd be at least 20 years off before they even have a relationship. Presumably.
Oh dear God.
Well, not even 20 years, because now Gordon's a little older. Than I don't know. It's a weird timeline. Anyway.
Yeah, you could say that again.
So again, just the point is whether I doubt they're going to do the whole Essen relationship, but it's on the tail. There might be an affair. Who knows?
Okay.
The point is, Essen's now the boss, and she's usually not boss at this point in time. That's a new switch. And now whether she's a captain, so presumably Commissioner Loeb is still in the picture. Mm-hmm. Commissioner Loeb's the big corrupt head honcho of the police department at this point.
Right.
So the question is whether that's still in play or not, because she's captain. I assume Commissioner still outweighs captain.
I don't know what the ranking is in terms of
I believe that's the rank. I believe that's the ranking. So I'm hoping.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because doesn't Gordon in Dark Knight go from captain to commissioner?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's not Dark Knight, but in comics, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's the way I'm thinking that it's. I'm thinking it's going to go that way because I think Loeb's too important a corrupt character not to include in the series.
Sure.
But I could be wrong, I guess. Anyway, so
I'd be surprised though. I mean, especially given how much emphasis the corruption got. So.
Oh yeah, because Essen seems on the level so far, but then again, she could be corrupt. She might be the placeholder for all we know at this point.
The only way I could see that they wouldn't include him is if they just feel that their hands are already tied with antagonists.
Yeah, or they just make Essen the character. I don't know. Right. They might. Anyway,
right.
So. Because Essen's always a good cop, usually, so there might be a switch. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of interesting to track, like, I get the feeling that this is, like, you're finally gonna get to experience what I've been experiencing for years on The Walking Dead, which is, to get a story that is both faithful to the source material and then also takes its own directions with it. So I love that about the Walking Dead TV show, how it's almost kind of like an alternate universe of the comic books where the same basic events happen, but just really different. So I have a feeling that's going to be kind of an intriguing element of the show.
Oh yeah,
change.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, we also get introduced real quickly to a wonderful actor playing the mayor, Richard Kind.
Yeah.
Who's awesome. And now the question is, presumably he's in the mayor's, he's in the mob's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor, because they make the reference to that, but then again, it's not too clear cut. So Gordon might have just been making an assumption.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
However, he seemed good on the meat. He seemed like he was genuinely hurt by the Wayne murder, but I'm betting money that he's corrupt.
It could be theatrics, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm betting money.
Right.
I'm betting money is theatrical and corrupt.
Yeah. And anyways, I'm sorry, but but nothing can beat having. Oh, God damn it! How did I forget the name of the frickin' sheriff on Bates Motel? I'm ashamed of myself. Romero! Jesus Christ! Could have had a V8.
Snap out of it, Tiki.
I know. I'm awful. No, this is a good mayor. Not as awesome as Romero, though. Romero will always be the best Gotham City mayor.
Well, pretty much, yeah, he was one of the best. Seriously, he was actually probably the best mayor in Gotham.
Yeah.
Really thinking about it, I think he actually was literally the only mayor we've ever gotten in Batman that actually did some stuff to help Gotham.
Exactly, yeah.
Because Mayor Hill, really, he sucked at his job.
Only to go out in a VIP box.
Yep. Anyway, so meanwhile, after the little scene with S, basically S and Bullock's asking S and imparting on them, you really got to solve this case. A lot of eyes are going to be on you, and then basically saying, "Hey, Jim, you mind stepping out for a second while I talk to Essen?" And this scene, it's kind of feeding into one of my gripes with the series, just from the pilot. The music's a little off for me. I'll forgive it in
really
this.
Feeling the music in general.
Now, I'll forgive it in this scene, but I hate the transition music.
Mm-hmm.
I'll forgive it in this scene because it's kind of really stylistically neat. Basically, Bullock's kind of going off a little theatrically in the background, like yelling and saying, "I don't know, because he's the son of the DA. Now he's my partner. Transfer him now." But it was a good shot, though, of like Gordon, like on the outside there, with pushing in on the back. That was in the kind of the tension building in the music. It was kind of neat.
And I really love how they're just going to develop the whole tension between Gordon and Bullock and play with it. It's really good stuff. And
I love how again the bond really, the dynamic's really good between these two. And just in the scene where he walks out and basically Gordon asking him, "What was that all about?" Basically saying, "Well, I was asking for the transfer."
Mm-hmm.
Essentially saying, I was asking. Bullock's being very direct about it, saying, And then she reminded me that you're a war hero and your father was one of the best DAs in Gotham, so no, you're stuck with me. Unless I like how Bullock. This is a good moment for Bullock, though. He says, again, Bullock's on the level with Gordon here. He basically says, "Hey, listen, kid, why don't you do me a favor? While you got the juice right now, why don't you transfer to a better city? This city's terrible." And basically says, "No, the action's here." And then he says, "Look, Jim, this is not. You seem like a nice guy, but this isn't a city for nice guys." Then there's a line, I forget the context, it basically says, he says, "You don't understand how the city works." He says, "No, that's your problem."
Yeah. It's definitely going to be like kind of the big focal point of the Gordon character. He is the one good person in this otherwise incredibly corrupt environment. I mean, hell, this series has made Gotham so corrupt that even fucking Alfred is a sketchy character to a certain extent. So
now think about this. Now this is interesting. Think about this. Now Bullock, I found some interesting parallels here with a lot of these characters. Bullock is kind of he was Gotham's Gordon before Gordon showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So think about this. Basically, Bullock, he understands the way the world works, but he allows himself to be corrupt, because there's no other option, really. But he's indulging in being corrupt, but he's trying to help through the corrupt means.
Yeah, I mean, we basically saw as much by the end of the episode that there was no other option. So, yeah.
The point is, Bullock may be a little cowardly in terms of he doesn't want the big cases, because he knows how Gotham works. That's the thing. He knows. That's the difference between him and Gordon. He knows how Gotham works to the point where he is a little bit corrupt. Not totally, but a little corrupt.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is interesting. So he was the precursor to Gordon. Now Gordon's there, so he's actually a better Gordon. Meanwhile, I also liked after he basically said, that's your problem. And I love how Gordon, he retorts with this really great line. Again, it sounds so much like Jim Gordon. Like Jim Gordon wouldn't just shout at the guy like that. He would say this really intelligent thing he's about to say. He basically says, "You're a cynic, lackadaisical cynic," which is an important word too.
Oh yeah.
Basically, a lazy guy. You don't want to do anything because you're so negative about things. You're fine. You want to solve a mugging case? Let's go chase down some muggers. Lackadaisical. Yeah. Then we get a mugger montage, basically them stopping muggers, interrogating them, turning up empty, and that's a little. Again, the music in the montage. The montage looked neat. Like the swinging light and stuff, but still, the music in this series for those moments is really off for me. I like the score. I don't
thought
like the
scene was a
transitions.
little superfluous.
It's a little too rock and roll for Gotham.
Right.
However,
God.
after that, we got a really cool scene.
Hold on. That kind of reminds me. I saw a poster for Gotham, and this really kind of pissed me off, BlueDragonFive, because this is just not the vibe that the show should be going for. But the poster said, the big headline is, "Mondays are going to be badass." I'm like, really? Badass? That's the terminology you're using to describe this show? Really? Oh, God. Okay, but go ahead.
We got a really awesome scene here, because we got the Riddler.
No, I beg to differ. I didn't think this was awesome. I thought it was a little shoehorned.
It was, but it was cool. They're seeding stuff in for the future episodes. They gotta give it a pilot pass on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard the complaints that people have been having with how they've done this. I mean,
the big fear is that they're just gonna find an excuse to introduce people, and that'd be it. But no, I think they're going places with this.
I'm not afraid of that. I know they're developing all these characters, and I definitely think that's cool. What I need to know is beyond just this guy just has this weird personality quirk. I thought it was very shoehorned. I was like, who has a personality quirk that they need to deliver everything in riddles? It's isn't that
It might be kind of a nod to procedural crime dramas, because there's always a wacky guy in the lab somewhere.
And I am by no means a procedural crime drama fan. In fact, I'm kind of worried about that when it comes to the show.
Think about CSI. There's a bunch of funny lab techs. I think we can grant Enigma a little quirk.
Yeah, or the girl with the funky hair on NCIS.
Yeah, I'm saying, come on, we can grant the show at least one wacky police forensics character.
My problem wasn't that he was wacky. My problem was that it was kind of just okay, if they would have just referred to him as Edward Nigma and just made him a little bit eccentric, I would have been so fine with that.
Well, that's what they did. They didn't call him Riddler. I mean,
the whole fucking thing where he's just doing the riddles, and I'm just that's the Riddler when he is the Riddler. That's not Edward.
It's like how Hodges in CSI. It's like how Hodges in CSI always makes the jokes and stuff,
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that's what I wrote off as. That's an excuse to do it, because these guys always like dancing around the results.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean,
the moment that
I really don't like procedural shows, so I don't really know that whole stereotype of a character.
Well, let's just looking at what we have here. It's still kind of neat though. You get a just sense Bullock knows this guy. Oh, this guy's a pain. He always wants to do a riddle. No riddles. And he's also getting a bit of
I like the fact that Nigma is in there. I just don't necessarily think they needed to hit the riddle thing over the head as much as they did.
But also he's given like some useful clues, like the $6 bullet. I love the whole $6 bullet clue, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, I like the idea of Riddler's giving the police clues. It's kind of a neat idea.
I still think it's a little on the nose, but I'll give it a pass. I'll give it some time. Let's see where they go with it.
Yeah, he's like, give it a pilot pass.
Yeah.
However, I do the moment that just made me kind of pump my fist in the air in my head a little was when Gordon solved the riddle. Gordon's no schlub. He solved some Riddler riddles in his time in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's no stooge. He's a smart guy.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
However, there is this one episode of Batman the Animated Series where Batman's a little cruel to Gordon. Basically, the gag is that it's not the Riddler, but there's another guy who does riddles. It's a weird thing. Another guy does riddles, and essentially, Batman. The gag is that Batman, he kind of knows the answers already, and I'm not going to give away how or why, but he knows the answers already. But he's making Gordon. He's like saying, "Don't you know?" Once you think Batman's actually figuring these things out, really, he already knows.
Oh, right.
Which is kind of like, it's a little cruel in retrospect. Oh, man, he's a little short with Gordon there. Anyway, this point is we got a neat little Riddler scene. I just love how dumbfounded the Riddler is when Gordon says. It makes me think, oh man, they're gonna go sort of like he's gonna like psychologically torture Gordon or something because he outwitted him once.
That'd be interesting. Like I said, I'm definitely down with this guy being in the mix, and I like the fact that they're definitely not playing him as an antagonist yet. He's just sort of quirky. I really like that. I think it's very smart of the show to really just kind of zero in on Penguin as the main antagonist. But
I'm expecting the Riddler to find out what Gordon did at the end of this episode first, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking he's going to be.
See that.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
In a weird way, I think the series might have a lot of. This is coming to me right at the moment here. The series might have a lot of kind of. How in Batman Begins, how Bruce Wayne goes through a lot of father figures.
Sure.
What if Gordon went through a lot of Batman figures?
Oh no.
No, I'm saying think of it. Like all these different characters in Gotham would be kind of like for a brief bit, kind of a fill-in for a Batman type character he'd be working with in the future. You know what I mean? Like he'd be working with one of these eccentric Gotham characters who'd be kind of a fill-in for Batman, somewhat.
Okay. Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. So we get the $6 bullet clue, which essentially leads Gordon to the thought that, well, listen, someone really thought this through, so it's probably a mob crime.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this is like a professional hitman, and probably who we contact for information on professional hitmen. Bullock's got a guy, or a girl in this case. Fish Mooney, let's go. No, that didn't happen. It was actually.
I wish.
It was actually just kind of
every transition on this show needs to be that.
That'd be hilarious, but unfortunately, we got an awesome. The shot looks cool as we're going through the city, and we happen upon the bar. Unfortunately, the transition music's terrible. I'm sorry. It's like clunky. It's like clunky CSI. It's like really bad CSI transition music.
Definitely.
It's like almost like level.
Oh God, that's awful.
Almost. It's. I'm sorry. Like you're getting like.
There's a reason I don't watch procedural shows. It's because of crap like that.
I'll defend one CSI show to the death until a certain amount of seasons. But some shows I can't see. The point is, it does kind of the trope of like some like rock and roll transition music. It's not too good. And it's like heavy metal.
This is not supposed to be a rock and roll show. For God's sakes, this isn't Lego.
I'm saying, give me some. There's some good music in this show, but then they do transition stuff like that. I'm saying, like, give me some '70s music. Like, it's a '70s looking show a little.
Exactly. Right.
Give me like a send off, like kind of like Gotham, like Gothish.
Especially given how damn popular the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack is.
I'm saying, give me like. You mean like a gothic version of like Starsky and Hutch music?
It should be more gothic, for sure.
Yeah, give me a gothic Starsky and Hutch. Like, give me buddy cop scores, but in like a gothic fashion.
Yeah, that's what it should be going for. I really don't like this whole like, oh, this is a badass show, badass. And to me, that's just like Fox does not know how to. I mean, they've been doing a good job of marketing this thing, but I don't really know if Fox. I don't know.
Anyway, so we have it on Fish Mooney's Club. Meanwhile, we see Fish Mooney played by Jada Pinkett Smith. Another kind of this one's a little dicier with people. Her performance.
I personally loved it.
I liked it. I liked it, but again, it's still
my favorite character in the whole series, to tell you the truth.
I liked Mooney, but she still needs to grow on me, I'll admit. Again, I'm giving it time. It's just a pilot, after all.
I don't know what it was about her. I know she's completely original. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just.
I know what it was.
What was it?
I love how she can just turn on a dime. It's really scary.
Oh yeah. You're absolutely right.
Like we see,
for sure.
like getting to our opening scene here with her, we get a taste of that right off the bat. In that right off the bat. No, double bat. Get it? Bat. Anyway, so we see right off with the proverbial aluminum bat. She's saying she's being all sweet and pleasant with like the debtor, like it's the debtor, right? The one who owes you money.
Yeah.
Well, the person anyway, some guy some weasel owes her money. He basically says, I care for you deeply, but then you gotta stick a knife in my heart like this. Basically you're not paying me my money. He says, I'll pay your money for you. He hasn't beaten the heck. I'll pay your money. Just give me more time. They basically beats him with the bat, and then Penguin. We should mention Penguin, or else he's going to kill us. Oswald. Oswald, he's holding the umbrella. He's a young kid at this point. He's an enforcer. He's like taking under the wing of Fish Mooney. He's holding the umbrella after she hits the guy, like she's out of the umbrella. Says, "Boy, my hair goes frizzy. You go frizzy." Yes, Miss Mooney. Yes. Basically, she gets the umbrella. She hears the bullocks in the club, so she goes in there. Meanwhile, Oswald. I love it when it's raining in Gotham too, so I got a bit of that fetish fed in this episode.
Yeah.
I love it when it rains in Gotham. Think about it. It's never rained in Gotham in the movies. You ever think about that?
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't.
Never. None of the movies. Well, except Mask of the Phantasm. Other than that, no movies. No live action. No live action films. Never rained.
Wow.
It got wet in Rises, but it didn't rain.
Oh, dear God.
Anyway, let me see here. So meanwhile, there's this crazy. There's a new character was introduced, and I love this character to pieces. This one mob enforcer. I love Butch Gilzine. Let me explain. So Cobblepot's left out there with some henchmen, and the guy that's been beaten with the bat. Essentially, Butch, the huge fat guy, the huge fat mob enforcer, the friendly guy.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey, Oswald, you want to whack at him?" He says, "Oh, can I? Thank you, Mr. Gilzine." Then basically he beats the crap and he's enjoying it. It's real creepy.
It was chilling. It was probably the most chilling moment of the whole episode for me.
Penguin's got issues, and and plus he's holding an umbrella, which is cool.
Yeah, it's just man. I mean, talk about like a really good just like Penguin image right there. Just a guy with an umbrella just beating the crap out of someone.
Oh yeah, he's doing that again. I love Gilzine because Gilzine's such a nice guy. I love him. I'm so glad he didn't die at the end of this episode. I'm so happy. Anyway, so the point is, Mooney's going there. She's smooching it over with Bullock, and Gordon's like saying, "Well, man, he's really in with the most likely corrupt mob boss here."
Yeah.
And I love how Gordon's like put off by the environment. Like he's hearing screams in the background. Says, "You want to go check it out? Go check it out. See if anyone wants to press charges."
That was great. That was a great line.
Yeah. And you can tell Bullock has a relationship with Mooney, and basically she's an information source.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of flirtation here and there. We don't know how deep it goes.
I just think this is a really, really good conceit for this show to have a character with this.
Well, aren't you a tall glass of milk? The line still cracks me up.
She just has like that sort of like old-fashioned way of speaking that I really think about the writing.
Yeah, I like how it's like it feels like an old-timey club.
Exactly. Right. Right.
And it feels a little bit like a burlesque house too, because she got comedy act. She has like dancers in the background. It's like an actual nightclub.
Like something out of Great Gatsby or something like that.
Something.
You know?
Yeah, something like that. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a classic. It's like a classic nightclub.
Right. I don't know. I'm really enjoying her character so far. I definitely. I don't know.
I'm sorry, go.
Well, I was just gonna say, the interesting thing about Fish Mooney is like, how long is she gonna stick around? What is her? She's kind of the big question mark in this whole thing because we
know she's going down.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But you know,
we know what penguins eat, right?
Oh dear God. Oh, that's a little on the nose. Now that I think I didn't realize that until just now. That's a little on the nose. Dear God. Oh boy. Now I know why she's named Fish.
To be honest with you, I literally just thought of that on the spot.
You literally just thought of that.
I just thought basically.
It is on the nose when you think about it, though. I
just thought Fish was basically. I picked up on how Fish Mooney ties into the fact that he's a penguin, but I never thought of it. Basically, aquatic themed things, and maybe because penguins eat fish. But the thing really dawned on me now is like, oh man, he's literally, he's gonna usurp her power. So that's literally eating the fish.
Oh, that's definitely what the first season storyline is gonna be.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so let's see. Meanwhile, great scene. Gordon goes. It just shows you how lost Gotham City is. Gordon goes there. Penguin's wailing on the guy with the bat. Says, "Hey, you, Penguin, stop hitting me with the bat." Says, "You know I don't like to be called that." Oh, I'm really scared. Which does pay off, by the way. It pays off.
Yeah, it pays off, but honestly, the first time that happened, I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a Marty McFly chicken moment.
Well, no, the first time it's like playing. What do you mean, the first time at the end of this episode, or?
No, the first time that he kind of freaks out about being called a penguin.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just after the Marty McFly chicken thing. It's just every time a character flips out over being called something, I think it's a little bit silly.
Yeah. Anyway, so plus, he doesn't like to be called penguin. The guy says you're not scary when you say that, but that's going to change big time.
Oh God.
Anyway, so Gordon happens there. He's seeing what's up. He sees the guy obviously has been beating the crap out of, and tells him to drop the bat. And I love how again Gilzine. I love Gilzine so much.
I need to rewatch this because I did not get that impression. I didn't really. He didn't really stick out to me.
Gilzine says basically, Gilzine he knows how the world works too, and he knows Bullock. Pretty much, he's almost friends with Bullock too. He knows everybody. He's a really pleasant guy. He's like the Bob the Goon. He's like Bob the Goon for this series so far.
Right.
Basically, he's saying, "Oh, you came in with Bullock." Basically, Detective James Gordon came in with Bullock. Oh yeah, you're Bullock's friend, right? Oh, hello, James. Nice to meet you. He literally says, "Oh, hello, James. Welcome. How are you liking the city so far?" Then basically kind of evolves into like heard some noise back here. Oh, we're just having fun, right? And basically,
we're just having a good time.
Yeah, we're just having a good time. Even the beaten up guy says, "Yeah, no, all in fun."
Oh yeah.
And of course, the sad fact has gotten so lost right now. What can Gordon do? He can't ask these guys to press charges. They're not. I mean, they're not going to press charges. There's nothing he can do. He has to walk away. Okay, well, take care of them.
That was great.
I know, it's so sad. It shows you how bad Gotham is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so then basically Bullock's been informed by Mooney pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Then basically they leave, and let's see what else. Gilzine awesome, got that. Oh yeah, so pretty much no leads, unfortunately.
Oh.
And then we get a scene where the lovely Barbara Keene comforts Jim Gordon. My God, she's a vision of beauty, this girl. Barbara comforts Jim Gordon after a long day. Basically, Gordon says, "Oh, I don't want to go out." Barbara says, "Okay, we'll just stay home then."
I really like that. I really like that little moment.
Yeah, even in year one, there's moments like Barbara's massaging Gordon's shoulders after a long day. It's not.
No, but I mean, like, I can so, like, I am totally the guy who's just like, I do not want to interact with people. I do not want to go to parties. I do not want to go to social gatherings. I am like the opposite of that. So it's like, yeah, that is the kind of woman I want. Is a woman who's just like, yeah, I'm feeling a little antisocial tonight. Okay.
Now, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing with Barbara in this series so far, because I heard they might be going with the nurse thing. Because apparently, I don't know how recent development this is, because I don't know that much about her.
Oh.
But like in the Joker blog, she's a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
That caught me off guard. That she's a nurse apparently. I don't know if that's in the comics now, but she might be a nurse in this too. So she might be a nurse, but she's also like involved in art galleries and stuff. So I don't know like what the extent of her stuff is. So we're gonna have to find out what her position is, I guess. I think it's just nurse. I think they're going with nurse, which is like different art, like hands in a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
That's what I think they're doing. I could be wrong. She might just literally be in an art gallery entirely. I'm not sure.
Sure.
Anyway, so the point is, there's a really good scene where Barbara, Gordon has his moment. Gordon can be really vulnerable around Barbara. I don't like that. Basically saying, I made a promise to Bruce Wayne, I can't keep it. I'm in over my head on this thing. And basically says, oh, you'll get through it. You're basically saying, yeah, she's really supportive. You're saying, I'm sure you'll get through it. Even if you are innovative, you know how to swim. Which is sweet. Yeah. She's a sweet lady.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so then, speaking of that, after afternoon of pleasure, Gordon Gordon, he gets a cell phone. He gets going on a cell phone, and it's from Bullock. Bullock's at a bar, and this is seeing in Bullock's alcoholism, because in the comics, he is an alcoholic.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now he's sober, but he used to have an alcohol problem.
Uh-huh.
And basically, it basically says, meet me at 4th and Grundy. Grundy is a reference to Solomon Grundy, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Little neat reference there. But you even see a Bullock drinking from a flask. Essentially, they got a lead where basically they track down the pearls to Mario Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they're out there. A little girl answers the door, and it's Poison Ivy.
Wait! You skipped over the moment where Gordon goes up to Bullock and he's still drinking, and Gordon asks like, "Oh, are you okay?" And Bullock has the great line, "Oh, what does he say? Like a couple more drinks and I will be."
Yeah, he does.
It's just like it's like in the early morning, and he's just like plastered. It's great.
I guess Bullock's a little more like hard boiled than Gordon. Gordon's just he's getting there. I think it's kind of neat conceit too.
Mm, yeah.
Gordon's more idealistic than he is hard boiled at this point.
Sure.
Yeah, so he answers the door. And I like the bit because even in year one, there's a bit where Gordon like saves some kids, and like he's going to be a father himself in that book, and that's kind of the reason behind it. But here, I like how Gordon has kind of a kingship with children almost.
Absolutely, you got that right away.
Like he kneels down to the level of the girl just to talk to her. Like he doesn't just talk to her from above. I like that he kneels down to her.
Uh-huh.
It basically says, "Is your father home?" And the girl's name, I'll address this for all people. A lot of people some people are ticked off by this. Her name is Ivy Pepper. I
don't mind it that much.
I don't mind it either, but there's even a better rationale for it that the series creators have said.
Okay.
So they changed it obviously so they can have her being related to this guy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's the story reason for it. But also they said that I don't know how far they're going with this, but they said for those who don't like it, the idea is that she's Ivy Pepper so she can tie into this guy, and basically she'll be sent to a foster home at some point.
Okay.
And when that happens, presumably he'll have her name changed, and that's how you get Poison Ivy.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So I don't know how far they're going to track her on that. Like, I'm sure they're going to bring her back. I don't know how often though. But
yeah, I mean, it seems like she's kind of a main character based on the early marketing, because there's like posters of her and everything like that. So
I mean, they might make her Pamela Isley, and they might track her on that. I'm not quite sure. But the point is, that's the whole reason behind the Ivy Pepper thing. That's why she's called Ivy Pepper now.
Okay.
Which is still not a bad idea. Even if that kind of fixes everything if she gets a name change.
I'm fine with it. Even
yeah.
If she does,
regardless, it's fine. It's a nitpick, but it fixes the nitpick really, if you ask me.
Yeah, but like you said, it's just a nitpick. It's like
yeah.
You know,
it's a minor thing. She still, I like what they did with her background here. I like that.
it's not
So,
like freaking the Catwoman movie where they just completely changed the name and the entire freaking character
you think about it.
and the setting.
Yeah, exactly. But think about this. I like the dimension they gave to her here in this series. So even if just for background, boys and I, it's kind of neat. Think about it. It's she likes plants.
Mhm.
Mainly, I like how when Gordon answers the door and asks his daddy home. Basically says, no, you don't want to talk to him. Daddy's mean.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That right away, it kind of like kind of built up sort of a sort of a suspense in that scene.
yeah, think about where it leads up to. It's yet another reason she hates men because she had an abusive father.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and basically she had plant lover, abusive father, and you can tell like the woman, like the wife has Marty Pepper's wife has like a huge black eye, like a mark on her face. The other guy is a real scumbag.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, here's an interesting thing. Now, the idea, I can say it now, basically, this guy gets framed for the Wayne murder.
Right, right.
And at first, when the guy answered the door, I'm thinking, because he had the pearls, and they're going there because they believe this guy has the pearls. I'm looking at the size of this guy. Man, he's tall, like Bruce said. I can't remember the width of the guy, but they kind of did a neat thing where the guy was a little baggy in the clothing when he committed the murder. So it could maybe have been that big.
Sure.
Could maybe. So I was thinking maybe this guy is actually the killer. I don't know. Anyway, so they asked to search the place because they have probable cause because of the abused wife and stuff, and he's an ex-con.
Uh-huh.
He runs, and boy, this guy can run for a big guy.
Yeah.
I also like how Gordon's the one who like physically pursues him too. Boy, he gets around it, but you can tell Gordon's really put a lot of effort into it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Bullock's got a hangover, he's he's being realistic, he's being pragmatic. I can't run all those flights of stairs, I'm gonna die.
Exactly.
Anyway, so there's an awesome chase of Mario Pepper. Again, huge guy, big. I love the little touches that Gordon doesn't want to shoot this guy.
Mm-hmm. I'd go as far as to say this is probably the best action beat in the episode.
Yeah, there's one thing in this sequence I really don't like.
Yeah.
I hate the shot of like you're like facing directly at Gordon when he's running.
Right.
It seems pointless, man. I love the wide shots a lot more. But it looks silly. It's a nitpick. It's silly. I really hope they don't bring that back because it looks people running and you're close up on them like face first when they're running.
That's like very standard TV cinematography. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's just like, why do that? I'm much more interested by the visual spectacle of him running across this room.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so a really nice chase happens. Again, good character thing with Gordon is that Mario Pepper he's shooting at him while he's running. And it's a real action-packed sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And Gordon's talking about the thing. I love how Gordon he draws his gun. He says, don't make it. Basically, don't move or I'll shoot. And you can tell Gordon's still not shooting when he probably should be shooting.
Yeah.
And I like that Gordon doesn't shoot. And basically, after he runs out of bullets, he just sheathes the gun and he's running after him a little more with ease now. Because again, Gordon doesn't want to kill this guy, but also he promised Bruce Wayne he's going to bring the guy in.
Sure.
So yet another reason he doesn't want to kill this guy.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, so he chases him down the fire escape and whatnot. Chases him down through the kitchen. Guy grabs a knife. Big old awesome battle happens. That Green Beret train comes in hand, and a little neat touch that they've added for Gordon here. Whenever he punches someone, whenever he punches someone, you can get a force behind the punch because of the music.
Okay.
You hear like kind of a loud noise in the score whenever he punches somebody, and it's really neat. So it's
That's
not like
one good thing about the score.
Yeah, and then the score again, it's not beyond saving. There are some good moments in the score.
It's a pilot, so.
Yeah, exactly. This is the transitions suck.
Right.
But the point is, I love the kind of force behind Gordon's punches. Like, if you're not Batman, you definitely have some force behind your Green Beret punches there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he grabs the trash can lid, disarms him for a bit, and then basically.
The trash can lid kind of reminded me of Captain.
I know. Me too. But basically, luckily, before Gordon's good, but this guy's a huge mountain of a man. So Gordon's was about to get stabbed, presumably, but then Bullock shoots the guy in the shoulder, which I think doesn't look that lethal, but I guess it's lethal.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I don't think a shoulder. I mean, I've never been shot in the shoulder, so shit. What do I know? But
Exactly. Neither have I. I'm just saying usually in movies and stuff, guys get shot in the shoulder, they're fine.
yeah, exactly. So maybe that's just a stereotype that the show's
I don't
trying
know.
to break.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he got hit in the artery or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The point is, Pepper's down. Apparently, he passed away. They look in the apartment. They find the planted evidence. It's the pearls and the murder weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the $6 bullet. You know.
Yeah, right.
And essentially, and here's a moment. Again, I love the score in this moment. I just love this moment in general, and the score is really good in it too.
Mm-hmm.
We get a rare happy moment in Gotham. Basically, Bullock, he's like happy. He's like, "Oh yeah, we closed the case. Yeah, no more problems for us." I mean, yeah, we did. Like he's grabbing Gordon's shoulder, saying, "Yeah, we did it." And they're walking through triumphantly, and like the papers are coming out. Hero Cup, Slay Wayne Killer. Everything's going great. It looks happy. The music cue's really neat. Like, give me more of that music.
Right.
There's like more music of that kind. That was really good. It's like things are going well for him for a moment. And unfortunately, then we kind of Penguin's got some information. Oswald he gets in the car with Alan and Montoya with a
What do you think of him being a mole?
Well, that's fine. He's strategically trying to get in the organization there.
Oh, right.
So he's trying to usurp power in kind of a not so smart way, but he's a young guy.
Yeah, I was.
What you want to do, if Penguin were smart, he would have hired someone and/or brought like an underling of some sort, and had him do that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But like you said, he's a young guy, so.
Or like a messenger or something, like send the GCPD a letter or something, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, the point is he's telling Montoya, he tells Montoya and Christmas Allen that, basically, there was a frame up, Mario Pepper is not the killer.
Uh-huh.
And it was a police frame up, too, that's why the evidence was planted there. Now,
right.
Whether it was planted, like, before they got there or after they got there, I'm not sure. I guess after they got there.
Well, yeah, because didn't Bullock say that the necklace was there before they got there?
Well, they didn't say they said they were going to search for it.
Oh, okay.
So there's a chance when the guys are processing the scene, a corrupt cop could have slipped in there.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But I don't know. In my mind, I assumed it was there all along, but I don't know. Could be wrong. Anyway, point is, he says that Pepper was framed per Falcone's wishes. Per Fish Mooney and by connection Falcone, because Falcone's the big old crime boss in Gotham.
Right, and also just because they needed someone to pin the whole thing on for public.
Well, not yet, but yes. Sorry, there's a bunch of spoilers in this thing already, but anyway.
They're watching a recap. Of course, it's spoilers.
I know that. The point is, let's see. So anyway, they basically say there were some corrupt cops that did this, and the ones who were on the scene were Gordon and Bullock. So Montoya does some stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I like how Christmas. However, before that, I like how Christmas Allen points out, what's your stake in this? Why are you telling us? And I love how Penguin and Bruce Wayne have a lot of feuds in the comics, but this is kind of an interesting take on it. Basically, he says, "Oh yeah, I worry about that poor." I figured it was the right thing to do because of that poor orphan boy. Says, no, really, what's the real reason you're doing this? You want to steal Pet. No, not steal Pet. You want to get rid of Fish Mooney.
Oh.
It's neither here nor there. Now I've given you information. Now, good day.
I love this Penguin, man. I love it so far.
He is good. Anyway, so then we get another. Remember, this is part 2 of that 3-part Bruce Wayne thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at the funeral, at the Wayne funeral.
Wait. I'm sorry. You kind of skipped over the implications between Barbara and Montoya.
No, that's later.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh God.
I'm sorry. I jumped ahead, and it's funeral then that.
I just don't want to skip over the implications. So.
We won't. Anyway, so we get the Wayne funeral here.
Okay.
And it's a good bit.
Selena Kyle working in the background.
Yeah, again, I like how they're kind of seeing you're in there, and not as long as they're going to pay off, which literally they are in the next episode. I like that.
Yeah, they're not. We're not going to wait long. for it, so that's good.
No. Anyway, so then Selena's there, she's looming over the funeral. Particularly, I like how Gordon's there, basically apologized. I'm sorry I couldn't bring him in alive. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Essentially, the moment that kind of almost makes me tear up a little is when Bruce Wayne shakes Gordon's hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, because that's kind of indirectly, that's like Batman shaking Gordon's hand.
Right.
That's kind of like the first partnership moment, almost.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, and again, it's pretty much, you got a bit of closure there. Pretty much, Bruce Wayne sincerely thanking Gordon. And remember the performance here. It's important for my third argument here.
Okay.
So remember, Bruce Wayne, he's just a young kid. He's sincerely thanking him. Just, thanks, you brought him to justice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bruce Wayne's on his way, and Gordon Gordon feels a sense of victory there, a rare happy moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So things are going well. You got Slinky Kyle, and then the background looking at the funeral. Okay, next scene. Got some balloons to pop here. So Montoya visits Barbara, and boy, does she have some cojones on her, that Montoya.
Yep.
Montoya has the nerve. I'm really pissed off at Montoya. I usually love Montoya.
Are you pissed off at Montoya, or are you pissed off at the writers for making Montoya do this? That's the question.
The thing is, I can't even be mad at Montoya, any of them, for that, because technically, I see what they're going for here. Again, I see that they're going for like, it's a misconception. We know it's a misconception. Okay, I guess I'm mad at the writers, I guess.
Okay.
I'm mad at both. Because Montoya, first, I'm mad at Montoya because Montoya should have thought this through. Like, get some more concrete evidence, Montoya.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, you have one very sketchy individual telling you this.
Yes, you got one. I mean, verify it before. I mean, first of all, why do you think it's Gordon just showed up?
Mm-hmm.
You think what? Gordon just shows up, and the idea they're playing with is that, okay, Montoya just thinks Gordon's going to fold over like that, being a corrupt cop in the most corrupt section of the police department, and basically the whole idea is it's going to transition to basically she's going to be on Gordon's side later on. But right now, she's against him. That's the idea. And they could play with that, and they could win me over. I don't know. But just Montoya just going to his wife first and foremost because they're friends, and their implications, yes, in a moment. Yes, in a moment. So he says, we're old friends. I thought I'd tell you about this. Leave Gordon. Again, you're telling your friend to leave Gordon because you have a hunch that he might be corrupt.
I know. Yeah.
That bugs the crap out of me. Again, it's just Montoya. It insults the character of Montoya. Montoya is much smarter than this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying she's jumping the gun. It's the writer's fault for that. But again,
I'm not feeling the direction they're taking her so far.
I'm saying I see it, but they're going to have to win me over on it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Again, I'm going to need more episodes. She's really unlikable in this.
I mean, I like that she's there. I like the fact that the character's there. It's just,
it's kind of an
execution.
I don't know. It's kind of an interesting idea that Montoya is like not instantly on Gordon's side like she usually is in this new show. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If they're really gonna have to sell me on that. Again, I need time to grow on this series. That's a big aspect right there. So anyway, also it's implication that Montoya in the comics, I'm not entirely sure they're going this route, but I think they are, just given the implication. Montoya in the comics, for those who may not be aware, she's a gay character in the comics.
I'm completely fine with that. I am completely fine with that.
My only gripe is that she in the animated series she wasn't really intended for that, and it's fine. They got good stories out of it. She's good characters. It's fine.
Oh, that's right. I forget she was introduced in the animated series.
Yeah. The only thing is my only gripe with Montoya is I just feel like they had a gay character with Maggie Sawyer, so they figured why not another one. And they made Montoya. That's the only reason. We got good stories with her, though, so it's fine. Point is,
I just thought it was a little unnecessary to have that implication in the first place. Like, can't they just be friends? Can't they just be friends from way back? It's like
me. Now, listen. To be fair, they could just literally be saying friends. But then the moment that makes me think more is because she says, know you like I do. See, before I'm just thinking they're friends. I'm perfectly fine with that. The thought never crossed my mind that they might be more.
Scott Pilgrim. Oh, does she know me?
But the second time I watch the episode, I hear her say, "Does he know you like I do?" That makes me think, oh, there might be going the route she's in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So I could be wrong, and part of me is hoping I'm wrong, but maybe they'll do an interesting direction. It'd be kind of a first for TV having a bisexual character, Barbara Gordon.
I don't think it'd be the first.
Well, no, I don't mean first. I mean first for that character.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
First for first for Barbara Gordon, because this is a mother of Batgirl, going both ways. And potentially, we don't know for certain. Anyway, it's either that or there are some secrets that Montoya knows about Barbara.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, so Gordon is peeved at Montoya. He approaches her on the series, and rightfully so. He says, "What are you doing telling my..." Barbara, I should mention, Barbara confronts Gordon. Gordon tells her the honest answer, which you gotta love the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "No, I'm not." "So who told you this?" He says, "I can't tell you." He says, "Who told you this?" And as you know, Gordon knows. I just love this. It's like a Flintstones type moment of like saying, "Montoya!" Just grabs her by the arm and says, "I told her what she needed to do. I just want to hit Montoya in this scene because she's being very stupid."
Yeah, not earning many brownie points at all.
Yeah, Montoya, what's wrong with you? You need evidence. Look it up a little. Basically, Gordon, this is news to Gordon finding out. Basically, says, "Look, you guys stay out of my way. I'm going to find this out." And then Crispus Allen shows up and Gordon grabs her arm. "Oh, where were you before, Crispus Allen? Were you around to talk her out of it?" And then Montoya has the gall to say, "Oh, well, I shouldn't have. I know I made a lapse in judgment telling her, but she's an old friend." Which, why didn't you think of that? Yeah, why didn't you think of that before? So regardless of whether she's doing quotation marks or not with Barbara, there are secrets that Gordon doesn't know about her.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point is, Gordon says, "I'm going to find this out, man." I love how Gordon meets it. Again, Gordon's the most honest cop in Gotham. He goes there. He's very genuine with people. Goes to Ivy Pepper's place. Mother enters the door, and he puts the foot in the door, saying, "Look, if your husband's innocent, you got to talk to me."
Yeah, I really like that whole dynamic.
I love that. Basically, she's saying, "The cops framed my husband. He wasn't good. He beat me like a cheap drum." She doesn't say that, but she has an old-timey voice, doesn't she? Like an old 40s voice.
Yeah, with the accent and everything. Yeah. Sure.
But basically, Gordon kind of subverts that by saying, "Wait, where are shoes? Do you still have all shoes?" And, "Well, yeah." Looks through all the shoes. Darn. Was no shiny shoes. Then he comes to Bullock with this, and Bullock's saying, "Wait, shiny shoes? What? Oh, God almighty."
I love Bullock's reaction there.
Now again, this is a really good scene for Bullock here, because Bullock, basically Gordon's telling him it was a frame. Where are you hearing this from, Montoya? Montoya's a pillhead, again, into the hint for the future.
Yeah.
Point is, Bullock is coming from an angle here saying, "Well, look, we killed that guy. We're going to get fired if we go through this. I don't want to do that. Even if I did believe you on this whole shiny shoes angle, look, it's too much risk here. We killed a man. We're going to face a bunch of flack from internal affairs. It's not worth it."
Yeah, and you got to love how it's like he is completely in the right in that moment.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
At least for the regular cops in Gotham. Again, Bullock has been around. He knows how this thing goes. He knows they're going to be out of the job on this.
Right, and that's why I love the whole conceit of Bullock. Is like, he's corrupt for survival's sake. It's especially interesting.
Now I should mention the other big factor in that is because the Wayne murder is such a famous event too. Like someone has to get punished for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's because it's such a publicized thing that the Wayne murder. Basically, you're saying no, you caught the wrong guy and you killed somebody. Someone did fired.
Yeah, not very good PR.
Anyway, let's see. Meanwhile, so Gordon's got no hope from Bullock, so he's going to Fish Mooney, see what Bullock told him. And first of all, he just shrugs off the Penguin, saying, Do you have an appointment scheduled with her? Like,
Yeah.
what's this about?
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me what it's about? No. No.
No.
Anyway, so Gordon approaches Mooney, and Mooney calls her thugs in, and basically says, "You got some danger in your eyes, detective. What do you intend to do with that? You're gonna have to wait to find out." Because I love how Gordon, he shows up and basically he thinks that she's behind it all, frame him with the pearls, and the frame up with the pearls, and basically says, "Well, didn't Bullock tell you?" He says, "No, but you just did." Because by the way she's acting, pretty much, basically calling him the henchman.
Mhm.
Which is smart on Gordon's part. I mean, where's Montoya getting a piece of that? In the smartness.
Exactly.
Anyway, so basically, Gordon, he's good. He's a Green Beret. He's taking out those guys with some awesome music behind him, like. But unfortunately, Mooney again turns on a dime with viciousness. There, she seems all sweet and like, you got some danger in your eyes. What do you intend to do with that? Then she is like, flip of a hat, tack. Hits him with a.
I love how it's like they use that quote so much in the trailers, and then it's like it's directly followed by that. It's not what you were expecting from that moment.
Oh, I was expecting her to flirt with him. Boy, that was.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. Meanwhile, so Gordon's been captured. He's on his way to the meat farm. He's a butcher. He's in a meat packing plant, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Meatpacking plant being dragged by Mooney's men and basically gets knocked out. And then we see Barbara approaches Bullock. I love how respectful Bullock is to Barbara too. By the way, oh, he's keen.
Yeah.
Which out of context makes you think
lovable in this man. He really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, Bullock says, "Oh yeah, he's on." He makes up a quick lie. Basically, "Oh yeah, he's on a stakeout."
Yeah, I like that because because it's not a lie. It's not a dirty lie. It's just like he does not want to concern her, because isn't this like right when he realizes that he went to fish too?
Yeah, well, basically when she comes in saying I can't find him, he knows where he went.
Yeah, right. So it's like I really like that moment for sure.
Because I should mention, Gordon asked Bullock what Mooney said to him, and he wouldn't tell him. That's why he went to Mooney.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Bullock's on the case now. Yay! We see, Gordon's awakened. He's upside down, hanging with some meat.
Okay, I just need to bring this up really quick. I highly doubt you even know about this, but do you know about this? There's a Star series with Kelsey Grammer called Boss.
I think I heard about this.
Okay.
It's him and Martin Lawrence, isn't it?
I have no idea. I've never watched an episode of it. All I know about it, like literally all I know is the poster for the first season had Kelsey Grammer with a big beat hook, and then like a bunch of all the supporting characters from the show, like held up on, just like Gordon is. You know what I mean? And at the time, I was just like, oh my god, that is the biggest ripoff of a Breaking Bad image. Like, oh, hey, it's the boss, and he's corrupt and evil and shit. Oh my. I don't know, I just called to mind that for some reason.
Anyway. So first of all, I got a little bit of comedy here. Again, I love Gilzine here. Basically, apparently they're going to film this, I guess, either for the boss or like send it into the police department to scare him straight. I presume that's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because
honestly, I could see it just because of Mooney's own personal sick amusement.
Oh yeah, because Mooney. Yep. Mooney is a sick, twisted.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say the word, but she's sick and twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, there's little fumblings of little fumblings. Like say, no, you had to hold the camera this way. You also can't see him. Say, who made you a director? Like, yeah, I love Gilzine. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, let's see. They're adjusting the camera that bit, and basically, Bullock comes in and they say, Butch. Bullock shines in this third act here.
Oh yeah.
Basically, he's walking in and saying, Butch again, Butch Gilzine.
Oh.
Hey, Butch, and basically Gilzine knows him, saying, hey, look, Butch, what are you doing here? He says, look, I gotta talk to him. Can you get me on the phone with Mooney? And he does, and he's on the phone with Mooney, and I know everyone's going nuts for this, I gotta set him straight, though. I gotta burst your bubble, Tiki. It's not the Joker.
Okay, I love this scene, and honestly, when I first saw it, I wasn't even thinking Joker. I just love the whole idea of Mooney just randomly watching a stand-up comedian enjoying the fuck out of it, like right after she does what she does with Gordon. It just so fits with her character. It's delicious.
Yeah, basically, yeah, she's eating her meal, watching a dinner and a show, essentially.
It's great. It's fucking great. I love it. It was my favorite moment in the whole episode, probably. What?
Penguin in the background, wine ready.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good.
And yeah, essentially the thing is, a lot of people speculate. And I gotta admit, I was with that too, and I don't think it's a bad idea. It might be if they don't have Joker in this series, it would have been a missed opportunity, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think they might have Joker in the series. I'm not sure. They've mentioned him along with the other characters. They might have just been like in general, like these Batman villains type deal. I don't know.
How do you know that it's not the Joker?
Well, the reason I know that it's not the Joker is simply this: the creators kind of confirmed that it's not the Joker.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. But then again, they could be lying. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it might be a misdirect line, but the thing is, I was watching it for the first time. I was thinking, because I went in knowing though, there's gonna be some comedian within the series who may or may not be the Joker. And
what are you talking about, BlueDragonFive? Benedict Cumberbatch is totally not Khan. Totally not Khan.
The point is, it's like the whole thing of Dark Knight Rises.
Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ, that was even worse.
But anyway, so again, it could be that they might be just trying to pull a rug out from under us. I don't know. But the point is, the creators, Joker. There's a comedian on stage. He has a lot of dark humor, which sounds like stuff Joker would say in his stand-up career, which I think would be kind of a neat introduction for Joker. I'm saying because it makes sense. It'd be kind of a little. Joker did start as a comedian in one of his various origin stories.
Yeah.
And the most popular one is the Killing Joke, and essentially he's a failed stand-up comedian. Only Fish Moon would like his sick, demented kind of humor.
Again, I can't get over how much I really adore just the idea of Fish Mooney just eating this up right after she does, she hangs Jim Gordon up to dry. It's fantastic.
Literally.
Yeah.
But there's so there's that, but also the thing I never really considered until like the second or third watch was, well, yeah, if it isn't Joker, because I learned like the confirmation like after the second time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was thinking, well, why would she have a comedian there? But then I'm looking at the burlesque act she got in the background. Well, yeah, she's going for like an old timey.
Why not?
Well, I was thinking like it's a little convenient. Like she randomly brings in a comedian.
That's what I loved about it. I loved it because it was so random and out of left field, and
I'm saying it makes more sense. It didn't dawn on me that it makes more sense because she's a nightclub owner. She's screening the acts, and a comedian would be an actor.
Okay. Especially because she's like kind of encouraging him, like, oh, I like you, kid. I like you.
Yeah, like that. So I'm saying, first I was like, why would she have a comedian there, period? But then I realized, yeah, she has a nightclub, so that's why.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's pretty much it's not the Joker, that's the reason why. But still,
that actually kind of takes away a little bit of, I thought it was literally just like, oh man, this framing James Gordon thing is hard work. Let's go take in a stand-up act.
But look on the bright side here. That if this isn't Joker, I mean something more sick and twisted could possibly be the Joker.
Well, I'd say on the bright side, like, I don't necessarily want the Joker to have an origin story. I really don't. I think the Joker is a character that works infinitely better without one. Even though I do like the Killing Joke, but
yeah.
I mean, look at Nicholson compared to Heath Ledger. It's like, how much more interesting is Heath Ledger than Nicholson?
But look, the point is I'm saying because the only reason people are even thinking about Joker is because they said in the promotional stuff they mentioned Joker along with the other villains. It might have been them jumping in, or they actually intend on bringing him in. So we don't know. That's the only reason Joker's really even being talked about.
Right.
Anyway, so Let's see. So anyway, this Joker villain is performing at the nightclub, and she gets Fish Mooney gets a phone call by Bullock. Bullock basically saying, "Hey, listen, the MCU's on your case. They know you framed the guy. Someone ratted you out." And basically, she looks back and she sees the Penguin. And we should mention that the Penguin, when he's talking to the cops, he said the reason he knows that it was a frame because he saw Fish Mooney with the pearls.
Right.
Meanwhile, so Fish Mooney knows that the Penguin's responsible for it because, as she tells him after the phone call, puts the comedian off to the side. You're good, boy. I like you. You're really funny.
It's great. I love it.
Well, while that happens, calls Penguin over, and this is really creepy on her. You must really love this. Really, not the action. Not the action itself. It's just so creepy though. Loves. Basically, ask Penguin to massage your feet. Which I just thought, oh man, that is so weird.
I love this character. I fucking love this character.
So Mooney's getting her feet massaged, basically. Then she's really, again, the turning on a dime aspect's really here. Basically saying, well, first of all, I should mention before she has the creepy foot massage, she says, "Oh, Harvey, put Gilzine back on the phone, please." And basically, Bullock also says, "Listen, I don't want to look. If I don't act here, if I don't defend my partner's death here, I'm gonna have to answer you some questions because what kind of partner doesn't defend the other partner after his death?
Mm-hmm.
Look into it. Doesn't look the other way."
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, basically saying, "Look, I don't want to come after you, Fish, but I'll have to." He says, "Okay, well, listen, you keep everyone clean, I won't kill you." And then basically he says, "Put Gilzine on the phone, please." And basically, she snaps like a dime.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Turns on a dime, basically says, you get that sob. Now you kill that sob, and you kill the other one. They just threatened me, boy, and they're gonna die.
You know what's so great about the Fish Mooney character is it's we were literally talking about some of the most iconic, perhaps the most iconic rogues gallery in all of fiction, and yet they create this new original character, and I swear to God, she fits right in. It's astounding. It really is. I love it.
Yeah, I think something really makes her all the more better is when you think about her. Is that this is going to be kind of Penguin's deranged mentor.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of deranged mentor, so basically after Penguin's massaging her feet, basically she's giving this glowing motherly history, saying, "Do you remember Oswald? You've always been my favorite. I took you in, been like a mother to you, like a second mother to you, because he does actually have a mother who will be in this series."
Oh, okay.
So basically saying, "I've been like a second mother to you, took you in from nothing, made you nothing. No, why did you betray me?" so creepily done. Basically saying, you know how I know it was you? Because you were the only one in the room when I had the pearls.
Oh, nice.
Basically, Penguin's saying, no, it's not true, Listen, I'd open a vein for you. And this scene really creeped me out.
Oh, God, yeah.
She cleans off her knife, hands it to him, and says, "Prove it." And I was again, this made me think Joker the first time I looked, because the guy in the corner is he's gulping. So first I was thinking Penguin was going to slit his own vein open to appease her, somehow cloth it off or something, so he didn't die.
Right.
So in theory, you could open a vein and not die, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
So yeah, he could do that. So I was thinking it was that, or maybe he really wanted to. I didn't think they were going this route, but they could have give him a Joker smile. Mooney could have commanded. He cut a smile into the guy's face if he's going to open a vein.
That would have been a twist.
And then made him do the stand-up.
Oh no! Oh God!
So again, I didn't think they were going there. I'm saying it's an option, but I think I thought Penguin was actually had to open his own vein or something.
Yeah.
So the point is, so then she calls him Penguin. And then he snaps and he says, I don't Yeah, it's kind of like the chicken thing. I don't like to be called that, and he decides to open her vein, by stabbing her. And basically, she's expecting it. She baits him in there, hits him with the chair, and hits him a few more times with that chair.
Oh.
And then we're on to our next scene. We saw at the end of that phone call, basically, a Bullock got knocked out, and he now awakens along with Gordon upside down. Says, "Hey, how you doing?"
How's it hanging?
Okay. So funny. Bullock is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So just basically just hanging around. Then the butcher comes. I thought they were gonna make a bigger deal out of this guy. So some really weird butcher with like a guillotine mask comes out about to kill him and most likely chop him into little pieces.
Oh no.
But luckily, some saving grace comes in. We're thinking, wait, it can't be Batman. Who is it? Is it going to be Renee Montoya redeeming herself? Probably not. It's our big head honcho mob boss who goes in there, kills everyone except Gilzine, luckily. Kills everyone except Bullock, Gordon, and Gilzine. And, man, this is probably my favorite villain so far.
Oh.
I freaking love Carmine Falcone in this.
Yeah, no, I was actually kind of surprised to see him so early on.
Yeah, me too. I mean, so Falcone.
Because like I totally thought he was going to be like the Linderman of this season. You know what I mean? From Hero to Season 1.
Yeah.
Where, like they're going to like really drag, but no, there he is right in the opening. So I'm like, okay, cool.
So anyway, essentially Falcone walks in there, and he's a classic Italian mob boss, essentially. Mm-hmm. And he's played by I wrote the guy's name, John Doman, who, from what I hear, does a lot of these type of roles. He's good, from what I hear. So the guy, he walks by, like he approaches Gilzine. Gilzine's like the only one left alive, so he can deliver a message. And I love Gilzine so much. I'm so glad they didn't kill him. Basically says, "What is your name? I'm not quite familiar with you. But then again, I don't think we've ever met." So
I like that line. That's great.
Well, perhaps we've never met. Says, "My name's Gilzine, sir." Says, "Tell Mooney, tell your boss, Fish Mooney, that she can't kill cops. That's unless I give the order. There are rules to these things." And then Bullock delivers the best line of the episode, saying, "Yes, there are rules."
I like how of all the people Bullock or Gordon is siding with frickin' Falcone. Of all people. What a twist.
But no, well, yeah, Bullock has the best line, though. So, yes, there are rules.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And then basically they're free. Then next scene. This is a real fascinating scene. I think this is the best scene in the episode. Well, one of the best scenes. Mm. At least the most fascinating season-setting scene.
Yeah, for sure.
At least I think it's the smartest scene. It's Falcone and Gordon chat. And first of all, this is an awesome scene. There's so many levels to this scene. I'm going to try to get through them as quick as I can. First of all, Falcone walks through and he's saying, I knew your father, James. And that's pretty much the only reason you're alive, the respect I have for your father. And you even call us friends. And basically, Gordon finds out his father was corrupt.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Presumably. Basically, I don't know if it might have been a Charles Xavier type relationship, but essentially his father knew the order of the city. Knew that there had to be like an order, a balance between the corruption and the non-corrupt. So again, whether or not how corrupt Gordon's father might have been, we don't know yet. But the point is, his father knew he bowed down to the order essentially, and basically Falcone spared his life because of that. And then he explains, Gordon says, "Why have the Waynes killed?" He says, "No, I didn't have them killed. I planned." Oh, actually, Gordon figured it out. Somewhat. Gordon basically says, I trust you're going to do what your father did. Gordon says, "Yeah, you'll do the right thing like your father." "Yes, I will. I'll tell him everything I know." And basically, Gordon says what he figured out without implicating Falcone. He says, he says, "Well, presumably someone, Fish Mooney, planted the evidence to have the frame Mario for killing the Waynes." Mm. No, wait. I'm butchering that, but the point is, hired someone to kill the Waynes, and then plant the evidence to implicate Mario. Then basically says, so what? Basically, then that person who commissioned that was you. He says, oh, no. What happened was, I staged that. Well, actually, Tiki, take us through what happened there.
You're asking me to recap something?
No, I'm asking you to read what the grand scheme is with Falcone there.
Okay, so the grand scheme is that, you know, the Waynes, of course, very, very prominent public figures in Gotham. Their death, huge news, public outroar. Don't want to get the city into even more chaos than it already is. So we need a scapegoat. You know, especially because this, as Bullock kind of points out, it's an impossible case. It's a masked mugger. So it's like we need some sort of justice, some sort of like, you know, there's some sort of small victory to fall back on, and so that's where Pepper comes in as the scapegoat.
Essentially, wants to give the city closure, a feeling of security, kind of like a little bit like Bates Motel.
I was going to say it was kind of like a very, very, very small scale version of what Linderman wants to do in Heroes, which is essentially fucking Ozymandias.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing, really. Here's the thing that really fascinated me about this on many levels. One, I loved how what Falcone just outlined there. Basically, he's trying to keep the peace by having a scapegoat for the murder. Basically, saying the case is closed, so basically people can sleep now at night. Basically, so there is a sense of order. There is a sense of law and order in Gotham. Basically, you know, some hero cops close the case. Yay. You know, there's basically Falcone's preserving hope in Gotham while the crime can thrive.
Right, yeah.
And here's the twisted idea that I'm in love with right now. I'm hoping they keep pushing this. Is that before Batman, in this corrupt Gotham, Falcone is technically the Batman of Gotham.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, it's ironic that Gordon, of all the people in Gotham, like, he can kind of relate to Falcone the most in a way.
Yeah, the thing about it is just that fact that City Sogon, the only one who's preserving order in this city, is the big crime boss. And essentially that's the role Batman's going to fill later, preserving order in Gotham. And essentially Falcone's doing it. And Falcone has this really great line. He says, I love this city. And that's why I do this. So really, it's really good stuff, and also a fascinating thing. I'm sure he's going to play out by come full circle by the end of the season. Is going to be, and again, this is why I think that the ending is going to be Gordon. Ending of the season is going to be Gordon finding out who the murderer is.
Okay.
Is because you have this scene where Falcone and Gordon are talking with a real calm chat, really well shot chat too, by the way. It's order versus corruption. And basically saying him saying there basically there was probably some 2-bit mugger that killed him, some random killing, I don't know who that killed the Waynes. And it's an impossible case to solve, so I forged it, and basically Gordon at the end of the season could kind of reflect that by saying I solved this case and I did it the honest way.
Right.
Basically, I'm expecting like a moment at the end of the season where Gordon like puts Falcone away or like takes a big chunk out of his empire or something.
Okay, cool.
With that, and solving that case or something. So the point is that order versus corruption angle, and also Falcone saying even if by some chance you could go to the internal affairs of someone and get something done, you'd be hurting the city by helping it. So yeah, really fascinating stuff. Again, just Falcone as Gotham's Batman is such a fascinating idea. I can't wait to see more of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I really like that idea. I didn't think about it until you brought it up. But yeah. And
of course, Falcone. Of course, this grand meeting with Falcone and Falcone saving Gordon's life doesn't come without a price, like any mob deal. So we're at the docks. Harvey Bullock basically says, you remember what the deal with Harvey Bullock is in this per se? Like what he says to Gordon exactly?
Well, essentially all he says is, it's like, you know too much, and we know that you're a little bit squirrely about the whole thing, you're a little bit nervous, so you need to basically, like, prove that you're in with us.
Yeah, and basically also Bullock's saying, like, Bullock saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I didn't want to get you too involved in the thing." Basically saying Bullock is corrupt when he needs to be, on the whole. Essentially, it's still up in the air how corrupt Bullock is, and we'll see that in future episodes, I guess. But on the assumption is that he's corrupt to the point where he needs to be. Like he knows who's in charge. He's aware of the corruption. He's only corrupt when he needs to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in a nutshell, it's pretty much Bullock's stake so far as we know, and he's probably had to put some bullets in some bodies the way he sounds when he poses this task to Gordon. So again, he might. Point is, there's still hope for Bullock that Gordon will shake him out of that, because Bullock doesn't like being corrupt, but he has to be.
Yeah, which is a great sort of starting place for the character.
And Bullock's just defeated. Bullock is defeated in that there's no hope in Gotham. Gordon is that hope, so that's a fascinating idea right there.
Right.
Anyway, so basically Bullock presents him with the choice from his higher up, the big higher up of Gotham, Falcone. Basically, you need to prove that you're one of us, so I don't have to kill you. You have to kill the Penguin because he's a rat. Penguin's all bound and tied up, and he's terrified. Now basically,
this is such a tense scene.
Gordon's been given like a wiped down gun to use.
Right.
Basically, he's like, my orders are you kill this guy, or I kill you, then him, and then by proxy, Falcone's probably going to kill Barbara and everyone else you've met.
Lovely.
But they don't know anything. He says, it doesn't care. He doesn't care. Look, Gordon. Look, Jim. You're a nice guy, and I don't want to have to do this to you, but I'm going to have to try.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm going to try. And again, basically saying basically Bullock's making a compelling argument, saying, "Listen, you do this, you save everyone. I mean, he's going to go after he'll go after Barbara. He'll kill you, and he'll kill Barbara. He'll find some way to get to you, regardless. He's that powerful. There's no way of beating this corrupt system. You gotta play ball, Gordon, or you're gonna die." Anyway, so it's a really tense scene. Now, and to the viewer at home, you're thinking, "Oh man, Gordon really has no way out of this." And we know the Penguin's not gonna die, so how's this gonna happen? He's gonna shoot.
Honestly, I was kind of like, are they gonna pull a fast one on us and kill off the Penguin right away?
No. We've seen more clips of him in the trailer. We can't kill him off yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, damn trailers.
Anyway, I'm thinking you might think how's he gonna get us? He might shoot Bullock or something. I don't know. But I gotta admit though, kind of something in my back of my mind was what actually happened was the only way I could think of how you can get out of it. So what he does is basically Penguin's begging for his life. "Please, I'll be in servitude to you. Basically, there's a war coming with Falcone. Okay, there will be a big old power struggle. Please, there's going to be a vacuum. It's going to go crazy in this city." Then basically
much like Bates Motel.
Oh yeah. Basically, he knocks him around a little. Basically, says, "Turn around." He says, "Never come back to Gotham." And a really clever bit. And again, I kind of called this as it was happening, so I didn't know it all along, but I kind of knew it. I put the pieces together.
Yeah, right.
The only way he can get out of this, basically, puts the gun next to his head, to the side of his head, fires it so you hear the sound, basically knocks him in the water. So it looks like he's died to Bullock. And Bullock is watching, by the way. It's not dumb enough that you hide in this crate.
Oh God!
Did you do it, Gordon? Yes, I did. Right off into the sunset. It's not that easy.
Oh, that'd be great.
But no, he shoots.
And then the Penguin comes out of the crate and fucking kills the guy for the scam.
Anyway, the point is, it's a really clever idea on Gordon's part. Again, I love it. I was pumping my fist in the air in my head, just going, "Yeah, that's a Jim Gordon move. He wouldn't kill the guy." Oh, I want to mention the other compelling thing that Bullock says. "You've killed people before. That was war. This is war."
Yeah.
Really good line. Anyway, so basically, it looked like Penguin's died, and Bullock's happy, saying, "Yeah, you get to live. We get to still be partners. Yay!" In essence,
I'll kill you today. Yeah.
Basically says,
Days.
No, basically going, that a boy.
A day that I don't have to kill my partner is a good day in Gotham.
Oh yeah. Basically, Bullock's saying, "That a boy." He's playing ball, and actually, Bullock's actually happy. Like, yeah, maybe there's a chance for this Gordon after all. He's not going to be a pain in the neck after all, but that's not going to last.
No.
Anyway, so after this sick test, Gordon gets home. He hugs Barbara, basically saying he's all right. Then we get the big scene. Okay, I'm building towards this now. Okay, so Gordon goes to Wayne Manor. Goes to Wayne Manor. We see Bruce Wayne. He's standing on the edge of the house, edge of the roof of the house.
The shot was like really built up in the trailers.
Yeah. I love just Gordon. Gordon gets there. He's looking up at the kid. And he's obviously he's worried. Then Alfred comes out and he's saying, "Wait, what's Gordon doing here?" And then basically, I love how Gordon just points up, saying, "Hey, look at this! Would you?" Saying, "Hey, you gonna do anything about this?" Then Alfred comes there. He's gonna cursing at Bruce, but he didn't really like a tough father on him, Basically,
I don't find it.
I'm giving it a shot. I'm just saying it still needs to win me over.
Like I said, it's like, we are so used to like world's greatest grandpa, freaking Michael Caine as Alfred. And well, so again, I like the salty version. I'm kind of into it.
Well, the Earth 1 Alfred is pretty much, he's like literally physically brawling with Bruce now and again, so it's...
Oh, no.
Remember, he's modeled after the Sean Connery, like, Untouchables guy.
Sure.
In the comics. Anyway, so point is, Alfred says, Bruce, get your butt down here now. You're on the roof. The thing that gets me more so than more so just yelling, like kind of making vague threats, is, "You're doing this again, Alfred. Get better at your job, man." I know I'm being harsh on. The point is, let's get to the important part here. So,
convince me, my friend.
Okay, here's the okay. So the scene is.
You want me to first tell you what bothers me about the scene?
Let me
break this down.
Yeah, let me say this. Let me break down the scene, then you get to it.
Okay.
So in the scene, in essence, Gordon is there basically confiding the facts to Bruce, basically saying, an innocent man died because your parents' killer is still on the loose.
Mm-hmm.
So I failed you. Basically, puts his badge on the. Well, before that, he basically says. I guess, what's your gripe with the scene?
My gripe with the scene is basically that young Bruce Wayne is kind of playing like a little mafia boss here.
Alright, well, hold on for a second. I'm going to get to that. Okay, so...
and I don't like the fact that it's basically like, I don't know, like... I get why Gordon's doing what he's doing. I just don't necessarily think, based on what we've been shown, it doesn't really warrant why Gordon's going so out of his way for this, I guess.
Alright, well, let me try to work through that here.
All right.
So, before that, we have the moment where basically Bruce is saying, trying to conquer fear. Then Gordon says, fear doesn't need conquering. It keeps you from going over the edge.
Okay, that was a good line. I'll admit that. That was a great Batman setup for sure.
Oh, yeah. And then Alfred said, "You think I haven't told him that already?" Hey, Alfred's just kind of putting the damper on the scene, but I'm being too harsh on him. The point is, Alfred's like grizzled. And
I'll admit that was a little unnecessary.
Well, the thing is, Alfred's just being a little cynical here because he's been in Gotham for a while now.
Oh,
That's the reason for it. So the point is, Gordon basically puts his badge on the table, saying, "I failed you, but I'm asking you for a second chance. And I promise you, I can bring the kill of your parents in there."
Mm.
And in this scene, basically, Bruce mulls it over. But before that, though, he has this great line. He says, Bruce says, I'm glad he's alive. Give me I want to see him again. Right? That's what he says, right?
Yeah.
He says, I'm glad he's alive. I want to see him again. Or I want to see justice done to him, essentially. And then basically, Gordon said, I love how sincere Gordon is saying, "Give me a second chance and I will do this. I will bring him in." And he does.
Doesn't Gordon also kind of start talking about like cleaning up the police force to him too?
Yeah. He says, "I'm going to clean up the police force and I'm going to bring in your parents' killer."
Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of feeling like this is a lot to lay on a little kid like
Oh
this
yeah,
who
what he
just
says.
lost his parents.
Okay, I remember what he said. Now I remember what he said. Gordon said, "I cannot. I'm going to clean up the police. I'm going to clean up the force, but I can only do that from the inside." And basically, he put his badge there. So I can only clean up from the inside. But I need you to give me a second chance to do
But
that.
what's Bruce's interest in getting the police force cleaned up? Like, I don't really get the connection there. Like, why should Bruce care as much?
Well, well, to be honest with you, I guess that in terms of that, it's because I think Gordon's just mentioning it first and foremost. He's just mentioning it's something he needs to do and he needs the job for, and that's going to lead to his finding his parents' killer. But I think by proxy, it's that I think he mentioned that the police framed that one guy to be his parents' murderer.
Yeah, he did.
So I think that might be like the police were the reason this thing couldn't get solved effectively, but it's also my fault too. I think that's what he's saying, or at least implying. But regardless, here's my convincing argument here. At least for me, what sold me on this scene, the reason I really love this scene is I think this actually might be my favorite scene of the episode. At least it's kind of a compilation of all the Bruce Wayne Gordon scenes. It's because, think about it. The beginning scene, we see the young, scared Bruce Wayne, right?
Sure.
And Gordon consoles him there, and basically he's a young kid. He's still terrified of the loss of his parents. He's unsure of the world. Second scene, he meets him. He shakes hand. Basically, Bruce Wayne's so thankful for that closure. Basically, justice has been done. In this third scene, it's very important on the kid actor here. As you said, he's like a mafia boss, right?
And that bothers me because I don't think it was really built up enough.
But let me explain why. The reason he's a mafia boss, in your eyes, is not exactly a mafia boss, but the reason he's like that, and I'm giving a lot of faith here that they're going to kind of push this a little more, is that in that moment, the old adage is that the minute after Bruce Wayne's parents hit the pavement, Bruce Wayne died, and Batman was born. So the idea here is that it took a little more time, but after after the body's been buried, essentially, he's become Batman. He started his war on crime. He started going up on the roof, testing the fear. So that the reason he's so cold and distant there is because now that little kid, that scared kid, is on his way to become Batman.
All right, I get what you're saying. I do. I just, like I said, I don't really think it's.
And that's why there's that moment. And that's why there's that moment where Alfred's saying, instantly skeptical, and that seems rather convenient, so we don't turn you in. Basically, Gordon's giving him all the evidence he needs to get Gordon fired, and basically, all the evidence he needs to get Gordon fired to make any storm any media storm he would want. And basically, Gordon's put a lot of faith in this kid, and I guess Bruce respects that so well because Gordon and Batman Bruce trusts Gordon because Gordon was the one that was with them the night.
Okay, I don't really get why Gordon's putting this much trust in this kid so early on.
Well, he's the only honest faith.
Interactions.
Well, the weird thing is that pretty much is the only person in Gotham he can trust, almost.
Including fucking Alfred.
The thing about it, he can't. It's like Gordon had that personal connection with the kid at the beginning of the episode, and that's why he owes it to this kid. He realizes if I can't. Sorry, let me rephrase it. Well, like you said at the beginning, that Wayne murder has changed everything in Gotham, right?
Sure.
So I guess in Gordon's mind, it's that if I can't save this one kid, I can't save this city.
Yeah, I hear everything you're saying. Like I said, it was just kind of a matter of execution with me. So I don't think you're going to convince me, man. I really don't.
No, I really think. I don't know, the thing is just
nice try, though. Nice try.
Again, the thing that just sells me on it is just the acting on the kid. Is like now he's on his way to become Batman. Now that little scared kid is no more. He's on his way. He's focused and driven now.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying for sure. Honestly, maybe what we need is a little more.
Well, if Gordon's ushering in hope, this is the most hopeful thing he can do. I guess is it's his first case, and that's the main promise he's going to make. And he's kind of been disillusioned by the corruption in Gotham. Basically, if I can solve the unsolvable case here, if this kid can trust me, then I might have a chance to save him this place.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. What was I gonna say?
It's not bad though, right?
I mean, I don't dislike it as much as I did. I still don't really think it's definitely not the best scene in the episode for me by any means, but
Now, the point is, I guess for me, is that basically it's the kind of also looking at it just from a nostalgic perspective. It's that this is Batman giving Gordon, basically allowing Gordon to become a police commissioner, essentially,
hmm.
in a way, basically allowing him, to continue being that law and order. It's basically the reverse of Gordon kind of saying, "I'll work with you," and kind of Bruce saying, "I'll allow you, I'll work with you in a way."
I hear you. I hear you. Well,
Yeah, it's got some stuff going for it. It's a simple. It's more of a simple scene going out there. He's kind of ending on hope, and basically ushering kind of this new hope in Gotham.
mm-hmm.
And then you actually kind of watching it on them driving out, and I guess we're on the our big reveal at the end of the episode.
This is great.
So we see a little fisher.
Want me to take him through it?
Yeah, take it.
Okay, so yeah, actually, what do you see right at the start? You see a fish?
Fisherman.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Maybe you should take us through it so I don't botch up any details.
Okay, we see the exterior of the city, and then jumping up from the water in Jaws style, it's the Penguin. And the idea is, for just given almost 37 miles away from Gotham, like 40 miles presumably away from Gotham, he's in water for that long. Mm. He's getting out of there. He is tired and he is hungry. he rises from the water and he's hurt and he's weakened. He's hurt. He's exhausted. And a fisherman, you see this lone fisherman. You see this almost like a monster movie. You see this giant, like pale penguin in the background. Uh-huh. And then basically he turns around, he's gone, and pulls a Batman on the guy. appears from the side, and the guy gets scared. He's reaching for a knife, and basically Penguin grabs that knife and slits the guy's throat. And
takes a sandwich.
And
bravo.
And what it's kind of saying is the implication of this is basically, well, while there's hope in Gotham with Gordon and Bruce right now, our two main guys. Essentially, it's our two main guys making a pact. I don't know how much more to say about than that. I guess they got to make a pact somehow. That's the way to do it, I guess. Anyway, so essentially with that, some hope in Gotham. You got some hope from the other side there. Basically, hope for change in Gotham. Basically, this guy's going to be the big crime boss. Crime boss. And basically saying he was told to stay away from Gotham. We know that's not going to happen. He's looking over the city that shunned him, and he wants revenge. He wants it. So we see literally Penguin rising up from the very bottom of the scale. He's reinventing himself, and the big question is he going to come back, or is he going to do smart things, stay away? Which we know the answer to.
Of course.
He's coming back, and he's going. And remember, the lot's hinging on Penguin here, because with Penguin dead, Gordon is. The minute someone sees Penguin, Gordon's in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was great. I love that ending. It was fantastic for me. You know what it really reminded me of? Break out the Breaking Bad jar, because it reminded me of the cold open from season 4 where the it's the second time that the ice truck gets taken out. The one where Mike's not involved, and then so the cartel takes out the ice truck, and then they steal the guy's lunch and just start eating it. And that's one of my favorite Breaking Bad cold opens. I love that. It's so subtle. It's so dark and twisted. And yeah, the Penguin stealing the sandwich definitely reminded me of that.
Well, I guess the last thing, just visual image of that episode, it's really neat. It's a really great way to go out in your first episode. Mm-hmm. Is that basically it symbolizes that change is coming to Gotham.
Oh yeah, big time. Both good and bad.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that was the pilot.
Well, let me have this adage just going out on this here. Scott Snyder, one of the great Batman writers. I hope this series is going to continue to feed into this idea that Scott Snyder kind of set up. Mm-hmm. Is that because Scott Snyder's from New York himself, and I believe this show is mostly shot in New York too. Mm-hmm. Is that there's a make or break mentality to Gotham. in the way Scott Snyder writes it especially, I'm saying it's probably been there, but he really writes it best. In that he interprets Gotham is that if the reason people don't just all move to Metropolis is because it's like if you can make it in the city, you will be stronger for that. You will be facing your worst nightmares, and if you can survive, if you can cut it here, you're as powerful as Superman. Like, and obviously not physically, but mentally, you have the. If you deal with all the nuts and psychopaths and corruption in this city, you're unstoppable. You're unbeatable. Either that, or you're going to die, or you're going to become one of those psychopaths. So that's kind of the idea Scott Snyder approaches with, and I think that's the idea they should approach this, because they are smartly approaching it like a city full of characters.
And I didn't even consider the possibility of Metropolis being involved with the show until now. That would be interesting.
I doubt it.
I know.
Again, however, there is one thing they could do. They could bring in Maggie Sawyer, who's from Metropolis.
There you go.
And she was a big character in Gotham. That was her whole shtick. She was transferred from Metropolis to Gotham, and she's also, gay.
Yeah.
So there could be a relationship between her and Montoya, perhaps.
Yeah. All right. So on the whole, I think we both agree this was a pretty strong pilot episode. I had a few bumps in the road, but I mean, outside of like really fucking landmark pilots like the likes of Lost and Breaking Bad, there wasn't really.
Gordon's pants weren't flying at any point during this.
No, and that's you never see Gordon in his underwear, so points off for that.
Oh, he saw him in an undershirt.
Oh, okay. I don't think it's like a holy crap, it's amazing pilot, but you definitely had a lot of good stuff in it. I was very pleasantly surprised by the Fish Mooney character. I think she's one of the strongest elements of the show. I love all the sort of twisted. It's good. It's really good. Like I said, I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. My one fear is that, like I said, I am not a big procedural fan, so I hope it doesn't just become like, oh, what case are Gordon and or Gordon Bullock going to solve this week? I hope it doesn't become that. I really hope not, but we'll see.
I guess, again, speculating about the future in the episodes, I guess.
Yeah, but let's not spend too much time on it, because we've already gone, like 2 hours for a 15-minute episode. So.
True. Yeah.
So let's breeze past the speculation, just really quick.
Oh, yeah, again, just Falcone, I want to see more of that come by, maybe more of that rivalry between Gordon and Falcone. We mentioned the pills idea, hopefully Mad Hatter. If not, it could just be an Arkham inmate.
Or just a weird thing from the pilot that they never really build on, because that.
No, I'm sure they're going to do some of those pills. They mentioned it enough,
Yeah.
Let's see. Again, our next episode is going to be Selena Kyle. It's going to be featuring Catwoman, and from the trailer, we see Penguin making his way back to Gotham very violently.
Oh boy.
We see Bruce Wayne. We see Bruce Wayne in need of a mentor, and that mentor is supposedly going to be Jim Gordon. He's getting a little reckless with his training.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Then third one's called the Balloon Man, which I have no idea. My only guess is that maybe it's the Mad Hatter. If not, it might be an original character for the series.
I think
we saw with Fish Mooney, we could tell it's not going to be a lost cause.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We see what they do with one original character, so if they do more, maybe it'll be good, Like Gil, I love Gil Zine, and he's an original character.
There you go.
Gil Zine, Fish Mooney, so maybe this Balloon Man guy could be really interesting if he's not someone we already know, like Mad Hatter.
I doubt it's Mad Hatter. I really doubt. I think if it was Mad Hatter, we would have heard something about that.
I'm just saying, like, he's childlike, and if not, maybe like Humpty Dumpty. I doubt Humpty Dumpty. Yeah.
Clocking.
No, not clocking. There's no clocks with a balloon, Tiki.
I know.
The point is that, but here's the big old thing. I read this like recently. I'm bouncing off the walls excited. This is Arkham.
Episode 4. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Arkham. What are they gonna do? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they could hint the Joker like he's just there. You hear a guy laughing in a cell. Maybe that's all.
stand-up comedian went crazy dealing with Fish Mooney.
I'm saying seriously, there are versions of like Joker already being in Arkham mysteriously, and then just one day breaking out. So I'm saying that could be maybe be one. That keeps the mystery alive enough. You hear a laughing guy in a cell.
Sure,
maybe at the end you hear like during a breakout that cell's broken with some dead guards in the wake, with smiles carved into their faces, maybe, or something. I don't know.
And honestly, the whole Harley Quinn storyline is one of those things that I was kind of disappointed never made it into the Nolan trilogy, because I think psychologically it would have fit right in.
However, here's the thing, that should never happen. She should never be in this show.
Oh, really? Okay, why?
I'm sorry, just she'd be too young.
You're right.
However, I'll say this, actually, thinking about this now, actually, though, Joker would probably be in like the youth version of Arkham Asylum, like the youth section. They had like a section for like younger criminals. I've heard like it was more of like a juvenile hall type program for the. It was actually designed to help people with mental health disorders, I guess.
Oh, right.
Like kind of like the criminally insane, but like not beyond saving type.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, like I'm saying, maybe that's where it'll be in, but not just a random laughing guy who we had no idea about who could be really creepy.
Yeah, lots of potential there.
So a whole lot of potential stuff. One last thing to mention real quick is that on the poster of Gotham, like on the poster, you'll notice in neon on a lot of signs in the buildings, there are some landmarks built in. There are a little mystery here and there because there's a sign. It might just be put there for the poster's sake, but kind of like almost a la Arkham games. There's some Easter eggs in there. There's some Easter eggs. There's a question. There's a building with a neon question mark on it.
Oh, okay.
There's a building with a neon cat on it.
A little on the nose, but okay, I'll go with it.
Here's an interesting one. There's again, I think it's just for the poster. There's neon, not neon, but there's a building name that says Poison Ivy.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know if that ties into her. Maybe she works for like an environmental company or something.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I think Poison Ivy is kind of like the biggest question mark for me in terms of like how are we going to go from that little girl to frickin' Poison Ivy? You know
I think the bigger question mark's the Riddler.
No, I think the Riddler they already kind of set up.
No, I mean literally the big question mark's the Riddler.
Pun. All right.
Well, you don't like my humor. You don't want to send me to the corner while you kill people.
All right. And on that note, do you have anything else to go on, or should we call it night?
Well, I guess we should. Well, again, I like the series. The performances are hitting. I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it still needs to grow on me. So hopefully that's what any pilot does. So we'll see more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Later on. So I guess this should close it out now with some encouraging words. So remember, kids. So if we've learned anything in this pod, we've learned this, and we're going to keep learning this. However dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
Indeed. So join us next week, as we venture forward into Batman's birthplace. Next time on Exploring Gotham.